Something in the way she moves attracts me like no other lover. Something in the way she moves me. Don't wanna leave me now. Oh, well, I didn't realise that. Or did I? Hello and welcome to the United Stand. I'm a bit low. I don't like that. I'm a bit high now. Hello and welcome to the United Stand. It is the Europa League quarter-final leg 1 against Anderlecht. And we're very excited. We're very excited to have you with us. Manchester United, the Europa League quest continues. And if we win, we will win a place in the Champions League. And that is what we want. So all those little moaners about the transfer show last night, we're not buying them 10 players, Mark. Stop doing it. Red rumours. Rumours. Definition of rumours is not fact. But if we get Champions League football, it makes everything a hell of a lot easier. So welcome to the show. Drop us a like on the video. We want to get 1,000 likes as soon as possible. It's you, me, and Marcus will be joining us for the game. Ross will be joining us in a moment. But I'm excited by this game. I can see Elliot Ray saying, what's your prediction for the game? I think we can win this game. The team is not out yet. It will be out in about 3 minutes. However, the team we are hearing is Romero in goal, Valencia, Smalling, Bay... Not Smalling. I always say Smalling. I've got Smalling in the brain. I like Smalling, but it's not Smalling. Bay, Rojo, Shaw as a back four. We're happy with that. Herrera, Pogba, Fellaini. Lingard, Mkhitaryan, Zlatan. So that's the team we expect. I still think that team's good enough. Is it the team I would pick? You know what I'm going to say. I'm not going to obsess about it tonight. I'm going to let Jose's obsession with Fellaini and to a lesser extent Lingard continue. I said about an hour ago, if he picks Carrick, Herrera, Pogba in midfield, Mkhitaryan, Martial and Zlatan, that's the best 6 we can play. That wins your football games. But he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it. I think we'll be fine tonight, but at some point we are going to lose games because he keeps doing this. It's not his best 11, but you know, he's adamant that he wants to keep doing it, and I'm not. Everybody knows where I stand about Fellaini in a Manchester United shirt. We've got better players. He slows us down, but against Anderlecht, and let's not forget he's Belgian, so that probably means he knows a lot about Anderlecht because he's Belgian, because that works. But as long as we win, I'm happy. Different teams been linked on MEN, says Tom P. Well, I hope so. I've got a feeling Carrick might play anyway. I don't know whether that's the definite team anyway, but we'll see and we'll get it out as soon as possible for you. Kevin Storrs on holiday in Spain. I wish I was, mate. Can't beat a bit of... I love European football, especially as it approaches the summer and the knockout stages, because it starts to make you think about tournament football in the summer, which we haven't got one, have we, this year? But if Video Games Theatre thinks he can come on our comments and start saying Man U sucks, it's almost like a double. I've blocked him. And you know why I've blocked him? Because one, I don't really mind the abuse, but Man U, we don't have Man U on here. No one comes on here and gets their little comments on our video calling us Man U. No way. It's disrespectful. Bye-bye. You may even have to go to... If you want to come back, you're going to have to set yourself up with another YouTube comment section. And if you do it again, you'll get blocked. We're not Man U. It's very disrespectful if you know the origins of it. Do one. Kickoff is 8:05, so the team news should be in about 2 minutes' time. It's normally... If it's Premier League, it's an hour before, so that'd be 7:05. But Europa League tends to be an hour and 15 before, so it should be coming out. Doc H has released an 11, which has got Darmian in it, and Carrick, and no Herrera, which is interesting. But it's got Rashford in it. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see if it's, in fact, the team is out now, and it's the right team by Doc there. Fellaini and Martial and Shaw on the bench with Fosu Mensah and Ander Herrera. Ross is joining me now at the optimum time, so I'll go to Ross in a moment as I read you out the team. Romero in goal, Valencia, Bay, Rojo, Darmian, Carrick, Pogba, Mkhitaryan, probably as a midfield three. I quite like that midfield three. Lingard on the right, Rashford on the left, Zlatan up front. So thoughts on the team, Ross? Obviously Darmian appearing from bloody nowhere as our left back. Luke Shaw back on the bench even though he was took off after an hour on Sunday. I find that slightly baffling. Apart from that, yeah, I'd like to have seen Martial playing, but I didn't expect it. So the good thing is Fellaini doesn't play.
Yeah, well, yeah, you said that. That is the best thing. Even though I do regret some of the quite harsh stick I have been giving Fellaini over the past week or so. But yeah, there's a lot of positives in that. Well, I thought we wouldn't see Carrick today, and we all wanted to, so we've got him in there, which is fantastic. We've also got Rashford as well, which brings a lot of pace. So overall, I'm quite excited with it, to be honest, and I think again, it's more than enough to beat what we've got in front of us today. Slightly shocked to see De Gea on the bench. I thought he'll either be sort of not in the squad not playing or in the squad playing. I didn't think I'd see him on the bench, but that's Mourinho's decision.
Where do you stand on that? I mean, I've been quite vocal as usual. I said that, look, at the end of the day, sentiment should not really have any place in football. What if, maybe not in this tie, I think we're all right in this one, but certainly I'm thinking longer term, because there's a lot of United fans who feel that Romero should play in goal now for the rest of the tournament. I know Sir Alex Ferguson in years gone by, he would maybe play the reserves, but when it got to the semi-final and that, he'd pick out his best team. I'm of the opinion that if we get to the final, we should be playing, or even the semi-final, we should be playing De Gea for the simple reason, I don't care how good people think Romero is, he's not as good as De Gea, and, De Gea can make saves that he can't.
Yeah, I think you're right. Hang on, I'll try and sort it.
It was going okay. I think it's just gone a bit. Something's gone a bit wrong with it. That's better now. It might be just that you're a bit close to it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, mate. Hopefully that sorts it out.
That's
anyway, yeah, to be honest, Fergie did used to play sort of reserve keepers, but it only used to be in Mickey Mouse tournaments like the League Cup. And you're right. He always used to change it in the later rounds back to the first team, because when you get to a final. You want to win it. The only time I've ever seen him not do that was a final to Tottenham in the EFL Cup years ago, when Tottenham were quite an average poor side back then, and you'd expect to beat them anyway. So I'm with you, Mark. I don't think you can. There is any sentiment in football. I think it's all about trophies, and that the fact that managers get sacked so much these days, they need to get wins and they need to get them far. So for this game, Anderlecht, yeah, all right. I'm happy with Romero in goal, but if it goes any further in this competition, that does need to stop, and we do need to see what I consider is the best goalkeeper in the world in goal.
Yeah, I just wanted to just double check something, because Anderlecht, I can't see the Anderlecht starting lineup, which is quite annoying. If anyone can copy and paste it in, they normally would have put it up by now, which is slightly annoying. But there was an indication that Anderlecht may not pick their best side because they want to, they're in some tie for. Here we go. Tielemans does play and he's captain, which is good. That's the end. That's the end of Anderlecht. That's all I was bothered about, was to see if Tielemans was going to start, and he is. And I think I am very, very happy with that, Ross. I mean, whether it leads to anything or not, it's a chance for a lot of people. It's part of the reason we do the transfer shows, really, is to try and give those people who don't know a lot about transfers a little of insight to players that may, we get linked with them. That doesn't mean they're going to sign for us. But tonight, we're all going to get to see Tielemans firsthand against the Premier League side, which happens to be ourselves, which is even better.
Again, if anyone follows Draughty Devil as well, there's about 5 players he's been championing for quite a while now, and Tielemans is one of them. A little bit before kind of the hype kicked up about him. I'm with you. I think that he's the only really player that I know that well out of Anderlecht, and I'm pleased that he's playing tonight, because if he didn't play, everyone, again, the media would construe it that we've beaten an Anderlecht B team. So it'll be interesting to see someone like that up against what is a Premier League team as well. And I think the kid's got bags of talent, and I would like to see us sign someone like that. But the only problem that I have with that is I tend to like back players that we already have, which is Rashford and Martial, and I just worry about our young lads developing. And I think if we are to go out and sign someone, it needs to be a Griezmann who I consider is already established as world class, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But you know what? Whether he's going to come to United or not, we are going to see how good he is. And I think we should be putting Anderlecht away. Let me be totally honest about that. Austin Arsenal saying no Herrera, Shaw or Martial. Let's discuss that. I mean, I suppose the Herrera position of not playing him is sort of encouraging because you'd expect Herrera would... Well, we all know Herrera's in a Jose first 11, so him not playing sort of suggests that he's got an eye on Chelsea at the weekend, which is fine. I would hope... You know what? I'm going to give Joe... You know, I back Mourinho, and I think sometimes we can jump on negatives about the team because we're not happy about it. I personally think that, you know, maybe he's keeping Luke Shaw back for Chelsea. I hope that's what he's doing. Obviously, Darmian's the better... Darmian's a defensive player. Shaw's an attacking left-back. So that may be why he's done that. My concern is that he's keeping Fellaini back for Chelsea. And I did say today, if we play Fellaini against Chelsea, Kante is going to send him back to Everton if he actually ever left Everton, to be honest. But that would concern me. As for Martial, I just don't think he's in his plans, really. Not first-team plans.
Yeah, I think that as well, to be honest. I think Martial's position's almost over, to be honest. Mark, just give me 30 seconds. I've just got to pass a message on to my girlfriend, if you can carry on a second.
It's all right. He's just telling her that Fellaini's on the bench. She'll be very happy. Fosu Menza needs some first-team action, says Johanna. That just reminds me of something that I know I missed a little bit earlier. Let's see if I can find it. Please, please, please.
Yeah, sorry, Mark. I just had a phone call and I needed my girlfriend to pick it up.
That's all right. Griezmann or Lukaku, we're not talking about that. Martial will leave if he doesn't get starting. Lingard is so overrated. Get him on the bench or loan him out, says Niall Parker. I think Fellaini was captain on Sunday, and obviously, or Saturday, wasn't it? No, it was Sunday. And we sort of reacted badly in shock to it, and I think the reality of that was when it had died down, Mourinho was just giving it to him because he was the most experienced. He's been at the club the longest, which he's done all season with the people like Mata and Smalling. And then people say, well, Lingard's been at the club the longest, but as I said, you wouldn't trust Lingard to run you a bath, let alone run a Manchester United side. I don't think he should be in. I've got no issue with the contract. He had a year left on the contract, and he was going to go for nothing if we didn't sign a contract for him. So, yeah, I agree with the contract, and what we pay is what we pay. But it does concern me, Ross, I've got to be honest, it does concern me how many games Lingard gets picked for, because I've got to be honest, and people get quite defensive about this, but I would always say as a fan, if you watch football, you've got an opinion, back your opinion. I think Mourinho has made mistakes in the past. I think sometimes people fall up the backside of managers just because they get paid a lot of money and say, well, what they say must be gospel. But we know Mourinho's made mistakes. Like every manager in world football, they will make mistakes. And I'm sorry to say, I've been watching Lingard a lot longer than Jose has, as I've been watching a lot more of Fellaini than he has, and they will never be first-team players. And as long as he picks them, it causes an issue. That's not to say Lingard shouldn't start some games, but it's getting consistent first-team football now for Lingard, and I would hope he's going to solve that problem in the summer, and it's just a short-term gap, because if he thinks he's a first-team regular for Manchester United, then we will be regularly not winning titles, in my opinion.
Yeah, again, totally agree with that, Mark. I mean, we forget sort of the calibre of wingers Jose Mourinho has managed in this time. I mean, he even took on Ronaldo when he was playing, when he had Ronaldo when he was playing as a winger, and kind of converted him to a striker. He's had world-class wingers at Chelsea, at Inter Milan, and there's no way that he's looking at this Manchester United team and he sees Lingard in that category as well. I think he's just using him as a stopgap, to be honest. And I think out of all the players that we have there, and, I don't want to get too much into the Martial thing, but I just think it's attitude, and I think when you do have someone with incredible talent that's obviously not showing the attitude, desire or drive to really kick on, and you've got sort of, a kind of very standard player who's, working his absolute nuts off to get into the team every week, it's easier to pick the guy that's working hard for you. And I think that's just what he's doing at the minute. But going into the summer, you'd like to think, next season either Martial's playing or either Rashford's playing instead of Lingard, with Mkhitaryan on the wing potentially, or they're just replaced for someone better. But I think, like you said with the contract, I agree with Lingard's contract and I agree with Fellaini's contract. I think the squad player is great, not first team, no chance.
A good couple of comments in here. I've just seen something on the telly actually I want to ask people about, but I'll ask that in a minute. Mo Suddy says Lingard is the second most creative player in the league after Mata, according to stats. another great example of stats meaning absolutely bloody nothing. Because if you saw, a lot of people would think go and sign Lingard off that. Another recurring thing that we were talking about, Ross, at the weekend is I love Rashford, so him starting for Manchester United is a great thing. But again, I think where Jose's making a bit of a mistake on this is that Lingard starting on the left is much more impactful, and it's been proved this season he's much more impactful off the bench. And I would start Martial and give Rashford the last half an hour, but again, he doesn't seem to want to do that. Now, he did bring Martial on in the second half against Sunderland, and I thought he did okay. I think he only got about 10 minutes. But again, I mean, I just would have Rashford on the bench and start Martial, because I think Rashford is much more impactful off the bench than Martial is, and I think Martial's better when he starts.
Yeah, there's half of that I'd agree with. I think that you're absolutely right with that, in my opinion. Rashford is better off the bench and Martial is better when you start him. But I just think for Rashford's development, he needs to start games, and probably at the minute him starting games might not benefit the Manchester United first team as much as the tactic that you just spoke about. But I just would love to see Rashford start more games for Manchester United, because it makes me a little bit jealous when I watch Monaco, like, you know, last night, with all the young talent, and they're all playing 90 minutes, they're all, you know, starting week in, week out, and we just don't seem to have the facility to do that at Manchester United. Mourinho doesn't want to do it, so I'd like to see Rashford get that chance, because, you know, some people are comparing him to Mbappe, which I think is ridiculous, because I think there's a massive gulf between the talents in them at the minute. But we don't really know where Rashford's at, to be honest, because he's just had one kind of half breakout season. He hasn't really played a lot this season, so I just want to see more from him. So I'm pleased that he's starting tonight, but from the dynamic of you know, to winning the game, I think, yeah, we would have been better off starting Martial.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see him in the second half, because looking at the attacking options on the bench, they're almost non-existent, really. You've got Shaw, Blind, Herrera, Fellaini, Fosu Mensah, and Martial pretty much is the only attacking option off that bench. I mean, Fellaini will probably come on, won't he? But you know what I mean, with a bit of pace. I was just going to ask people there, I'm just going to throw it out for the live comments. I was just watching Cristiano Ronaldo and his six-pack pad, where you put these things on your shoulders and on your tummy. Anybody, is it a load of crap? I remember they used to have them before, the little belts you could wear. A load of rubbish or what? Give us your thoughts. A good player for us to sign is Leon. Oh, God, I can't even pronounce that. I'm not going to talk about that. New trainers says Lingard is shocking. I don't know how he starts over Martial. Taran Singh says, who is our captain in this match? I would imagine it's Carrick. Love this channel, so addictive, says Snaps. Fellaini doesn't start. It's a miracle, says Rude, and I'm the master. It's probably being kept back for the bloody Chelsea game just to rub it into me. And because I'm actually going to the Chelsea game, so that would just be bloody brilliant. He'd probably be captain as well. Lingard is more energetic, kid, says Taran Singh. And Martial will score a hat-trick against Chelsea. We'll win 3-0, says Safe. I'd love him to play. I bet he won't. And don't compare Rashford with Mbappe. Rashford plays in Premier League, says Sahil Singh. And Mark, score predictions for the game. Well, I was just about to ask Ross that, but I think we'll win. I'm quite happy with that team, to be honest. There are a couple of things I would change, but there always is. I might tell you what I do like, Ross. I quite actually like, in a way, that Herrera is being rested for Chelsea, because I think Carrick, Pogba, Mkhitaryan as a midfield three is quite an exciting one to see Mkhitaryan in at 10. I think there'll be goals in this. I think I'm going to go for 3-1.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to sound like ridiculously overconfident, but that's the angle that I'm taking. And I am having a couple of small bets on this game, and I'm going for 3-0 Manchester United. I think we'll put the tie to bed today, and I think a lot of people are... not a lot of people. I think that the media are overhyping Anderlecht, to be honest. I think they're a standard team, and I'm actually putting a cheeky bet on 4-0 as well.
Good. It'd be very nice to get this game won and then put it to bed. Because I've lost track now of what the games are. I know we've got Chelsea, we've got Anderlecht in a week's time. I don't know who we're playing on the Sunday. I think I've got a funny feeling it might be Burnley away, which will be tough. And then we've got City away on the Thursday after that. So games are thick and fast. And top four, because everybody else doesn't want to grasp it, we really should be out the top four race. And I personally don't think we're going to get top four, just because of our form in the Premier League. But it is still there, and I think if we win on Sunday, it will give us a massive boost. And I'm convinced we will beat Chelsea on Sunday. But it'd be nice to get this game won, Ross, because it don't have to be, because I think we will beat them at Old Trafford. But if we can get it won tonight, I think your score 3-0 would be perfect, and it would be won. 3-1, I still think it's won because of the away goals. It'd be really nice to get that done, so that next Thursday we can rest a few players.
You say that though, you just absolutely know. Even if we win 4-5-0, come next Thursday, we're still going to see Zlatan, we're still going to see Pogba, because that's just Mourinho's way of managing, it seems.
Yeah, of course, he did it against Saint Etienne, didn't he, in the away leg, 4-0 up, and he still picked a team. Kyle says it could be set up as a 4-4-2 with Rashford and Zlatan up front. I'd like to see that. I don't think it will be, but we always presume it'll be a midfield three. And Chad Sproul, just very quickly, obviously we'll be building up towards the Chelsea game tomorrow night with the preview, but he says, what's your thoughts on Jose playing a strong team against Chelsea? I think, Ross, that it's essential, isn't it? We are still in a top four race. I think Jose's a bit like me, and I don't know where you sit on this. I think he feels that it's gone after the Everton and West Brom game, but I think the results have sort of allowed it. It's not gone yet, so we've got to keep giving it a try. And I think the fact that we're playing Chelsea on Sunday is perfect, because he won't want to lose to Chelsea.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think I've seen Jose, in press conferences look a defeated man and just seem a bit surprised, to be honest, that we are still within a shout, and well within a shout. Game in hand's always a bit of a tricky one, but then if we win, then we're level on points with Liverpool and one behind Chelsea. So, and if you're confident as you are, Mark, if we beat Chelsea on Sunday, then all of a sudden, we're well within a shout. So it's I think we have to play a full strength team regardless, even if we were out of it, because there's no way any Manchester United team are going to put out half a team against Chelsea at Old Trafford, even if we're fighting mid-table, because that's just not Manchester United. So I'd totally agree with that. I'd have probably even rested more, to be honest, because like you said, I think we can tie this leg up at Old Trafford regardless of the result tonight. So and for me, Chelsea, even top four or not, is a huge game on Sunday for Mourinho's pride, if anything, as well, because I dislike Chelsea fans. Hate's a strong word, but they're going to come with all the anti-Jose Mourinho chants that he's a club legend as well. I find it sickening, so I want to beat them on Sunday, probably more than win tonight.
It's one of the big reasons I'm going, Ross, because I'm putting my neck on the line here. I'm going because we are going to bloody beat them, and I want to be there to see it and cheer it and shove it up their arse, because I'm back, I back Mourinho anyway, but I think the treatment is terrible. I think Conte is just a Red Bull addict, and I think he's gonna be deprived of it on Sunday, because we're gonna win. Mr. Midgley, I think it was Ross Midgley, was saying that he thinks Lingard will be at number 10, which is a good shout, but not where I would play him. And the Ice Gamer says, why is De Gea not playing? I think he's just sentimentality picking Romero. Maybe De Gea's not 100% fit, but he'll be back on Sunday. Geezy Gee makes an interesting point. Lingard shows so much potential. Let's not hate. I've got to pull you up on that. I know it's a pet hate of Drawtees. He's not youth anymore. I know he looks like a little 12-year-old, but he's 25. He's 25. He's not potential anymore. This is probably as good as it gets for Lingard. There was always this hope that he was going to bulk up, and I think if he'd bulked up, he probably would be a slightly better player. But that build, I know it looks like he's about 12, like I say. He's 25, and that is him. Lingard is pretty much going to be the player he is. I don't think he's got other levels to go through, and that's not critical of him, Ross. I just think that this is Lingard. And, some people like what he is. Some people can't stand what he is. I think he's a good squad player, and I like him as a squad player. I don't like him as a starter, I'll admit to that. But sometimes starting him every now and again, that's fine. I think he starts too much for me, but I don't see him going through any more gears of development. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think, there's this misconception about how young he is. He's pretty much fully developed as far as what you say physique. He's not really going to bulk up anymore. He's reached that, but one thing I did think of in this team, and I might be well off, I'm just sort of spitting out what I'm thinking at the minute. But I do wonder how much influence Zlatan has over the team selections on this club, because Mourinho backs Zlatan a lot and will take a lot of advice from him about what's going on the pitch. So I wonder if Mourinho takes advice over who he'd rather play with, Lingard or Martial potentially. And it wouldn't surprise me if Zlatan says Lingard, because players like Jesse Lingard, and they'll just pander to Zlatan, where Martial's got a brain of his own and is going to want to score his own goals, where you just know that these other players are all going to pander to him. So, I'm not saying that that's what happens. It's just an idea, to be honest.
It's a bloody good one. It's a good, interesting theory there. So Ross is basically saying that Zlatan has a big influence on the team, and he probably would say he wants to play with Lingard over Martial, because Martial's a bit more selfish because he's a better player. Whereas Zlatan knows that with Lingard he can basically tell him what to do, a bit like Fellaini. We need De Gea. Don't fall for fake news, says rumours of Mourinho and De Gea bust up, which is quite ironic, the username. There is no bust up. This is the press again, building something up that's not happened. It started off in the Mail, I think, as some sort of bust up and telling him to focus and not focus on Madrid. But you can only deal a lot of the time with what you actually hear. Mourinho was asked a direct question about De Gea last Sunday, and he said he had a rib injury, and he expects him to be back on Thursday, which is the case. This bust-up or whatever, it's just nonsense. And I think the encouraging thing about De Gea and Real Madrid, really, is that we're not hearing anything from Real Madrid, and they normally would be started by now, so I don't suspect anything there. I don't know about you, Ross.
No, I really don't think that deal's going to happen, like you say. I think one of the main reasons for that is I think Real Madrid think that there's other keepers in the market as good as De Gea, looking at maybe Courtois or others. And I just don't think Real Madrid will allow Manchester United to rule the roost over him another summer, because if they come for De Gea, we've heard these rumours that it's player for player, and we won't let De Gea go unless we have probably one of their best players, and they're not going to let us do that. So I think that they'll just leave him alone, to be honest, because there's no way United are going to pander to Madrid anymore. We don't need to. We've surpassed them as far as transfers go, so they can pander to us.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I was very encouraged by that, actually. I don't know whether anybody else read it. We did tweet it out on @UnitedStandMUFC that, in fact, I did a video last Saturday, I think, about Real Madrid and Manchester United doing the deal of the decade, and predicted it because it's common sense, and I'm glad that United have gone with it, basically saying that this swap deals never really happen anymore, but for United to let De Gea go to Real Madrid, we don't need the money. We overpaid for Pogba, so we don't need the money. What we need, if we lose De Gea, is something in return that isn't money. So players, and apparently, and it's come out this week, I think it came through from The Independent, which aren't that bad, and they were saying that that's United's stance. If De Gea goes, you're going to have to give us players, and Toni Kroos was mentioned, which I think that's fantastic. Hardball is really good. But Europa League is what we're here for. I'm very, very excited. I think, when you get to the quarterfinals, it gets real. 5 games away from Champions League football, quarterfinal away in Europe as well, which is always exciting, isn't it? Most of you will have broken up for Easter as well, which adds that little bit of excitement, I think. But also, the great thing about it, Ross, is that everybody else is playing as well. I'm very excited by this game. I'm excited about every United game, but some games you get a little bit more excited. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to, really take hold of this tie, cement our place in the semi-finals, and also kicking off at the same time. We will be updating you as well. Ajax Schalke, Celta Vigo, Genk, and Leon Besiktas, which is going to be, I can't predict any of those. And I am being presumptuous because I do think we'll beat Anderlecht. And I think anything can happen in football. If we get knocked out to Anderlecht, then the meltdowns that will happen will probably be quite justified. But in the other ties, I've got no idea, and I think it's really exciting.
Yeah, if we lose to Anderlecht, Andy Tate will be rubbing his hands together. This is the first. Europa League's come alive tonight for me, to be honest, because before this, I think you were in line with that. It was just it was annoyance to the charge to top 4. All of a sudden, Europa League's taken over just because of our form in the Premier League. So tonight's actually we've got something quite serious to play for, and it makes it exciting. And like you said, the fact that tonight is a theoretical Friday night if you're in England or UK there's that to it. And I'm very excited for tonight, and I'll have my Besiktas top on as well, cheering them on, because I want Leon out the competition, because once they're out, I think you can almost just give us the trophy, to be honest, because they do worry me, Leon. They're a good team, but apart from that, I think it's our competition to lose.
Yeah, I'm having a quick look at something here because here we go. I was down in London on Tuesday and I was talking to some Liverpool fans, in fact one of which was Paul from Red Men TV, and we were talking about the Europa League, and I was just laughing because they were saying, oh, you've had it so easy to, in this tournament compared to what we had before, and I can't remember. I was just trying to have a look then to see who Liverpool had. I mean, obviously they played Manchester United, they had to beat United, then I think they had Dortmund. I'm just getting it now just so we can have a laugh about it. Yeah, so they played Dortmund, Manchester United, and Villarreal, and then Sevilla in the final, and then they lost, which was great. And, on paper, my concern, and we will keep an eye on that, and that's why I'm spending a couple of minutes on it, I do think we'll beat Anderlecht. My biggest concern is Celta Vigo. I think English teams against Spanish teams struggle. Besiktas, I would imagine we would beat them as a one-off. I'd like them in the final. Schalke, again, slightly stronger league in Germany. Lyon, I'm not concerned about Lyon. I don't know why people think Lyon are favourites. They got whooped by Lorient last week, and I think they're playing a bit of a pub league apart from when they play PSG and Monaco. So my concerns are the Spanish and the German sides. I'd like to see them get knocked out, but I don't think there's much chance of Schalke getting knocked out by, Celta Vigo getting knocked out by Genk, but you never know. But it's there to be won. It should be the priority, but as we were saying a few minutes ago, we should also be giving it everything we can in the top four until it becomes impossible. And I think we'll know a lot, just very quickly on that, we'll know a lot because we play 4 o'clock on Sunday against Chelsea, and I think, if I'm correct, Liverpool are away to West Brom on Saturday. If Liverpool win that, it's looking very good for them to get top four, and I think City have got a favourable run in, but we've got to give it everything we can while we can. Please do drop a like on the video. It's nice to get 1,000 likes as soon as possible because it's massively about you, and that's why I'm going to take some of your live comments there. Lennox is saying, imagine if Memphis scores against us. Keep imagining, because he can't, he's cup tied. Leno is not good enough, says Amarufi Assassins. Schalke would be pretty easy, says Set. Well, my concern with European football is name me an English team that's done well in Europe for the last few years. I just think there's an arrogance, Ross, with the Premier League. The Premier League is the best league in the world to watch because it's very competitive. But it's been proven year after year that we're not a big dominant force in Europe anymore. And we shouldn't expect that we're just going to push aside Schalke and Celta Vigo just because they're mid-table teams in Spanish and German league. I think, they will present a challenge.
Yeah, see, I have a theory, and it's a theory that I will back to the end on why English teams don't do that well in Europe. And I think one of the reasons is because our league is so exciting that, our clubs are playing, games of their life week in, week out, where other leagues, they have 2 games a year and the rest are just complete rollovers. I know they might draw the odd one, and it's, once they do, once Real Madrid draw to someone like, Villarreal, everyone's up in arms, and, it is a competitive league. It isn't. There's 3 or 4 teams in them leagues. And also, I think that, I don't want to get too involved in it, but I just think the referees are very biased towards non-English clubs in competitions. And I don't know if that's because our referees tend to let challenges go, but it just seems that European referees tend to get the most ridiculous decisions wrong all the time. And we saw one at Leicester last night, which I thought was no way a penalty. It was a blatant foul, but it was completely outside the box. And I think that because of the style of football maybe that the English teams bring, like Leicester brought last night, I don't know if the referees feel compelled, because in the English leagues it's almost like the referees will back a team that are playing that style of football. It seems that West Brom and teams like that get the rub of the green. But in Europe, it's totally the other way. I mean, Barcelona are basically sponsored by UEFA, and other clubs are the same. So there's a reason why English teams don't do that well in Europe. But again, I just think Man United, I still consider us one of the biggest teams in the Premier League. We're just down on our luck at the minute. But in the Europa League, if we don't win it, I know we didn't under Van Gaal, but he was a joke. If we don't win it this year, it will be absolute outroar for me.
Yeah, and just for those who watch Juventus beat Barcelona the night, don't think that's over, because as Ross said, it's UEFA Lona, and they will. I mean, PSG should have won that game, and everyone, you get the lads at BT Sports running around like it's one of the best results ever. And let's not forget, Michael Owen was the one who ran round celebrating. Yeah, you played for Real Madrid, you idiots. But that was a con job. That was a con job by a bad referee, giving them, was it the penalty against Suarez? It was a total dive. They wouldn't have won that.
And Neymar, I think they had 2 in that game, I believe.
Yeah, so I've got a funny feeling they'll beat Juventus as well, as much as they don't deserve to. I think they might do. But PSG should have beaten them. Andre H says Monaco and PSG would hammer us. Let's be real, they would. And Tielemans is playing Man United Brooklyn. We're very much looking forward to seeing him. Marcus is chatting up Louise, apparently. God, and that's looking against Louise, by the way. I don't even know anything about Louise. I'm just saying, Marcus is. I've met Marcus's other half. She won't be very happy about that. Hopefully, she's listening now. He might not be on the show later. And I think somebody's talking about wrestling there. Chad Sproul, so was Rio Mark. Rio Ferdinand, one of the best defenders we've ever had at Manchester United. Pundits wise, I wouldn't give him any more than 6 out of 10. I think he talks absolute nonsense a lot of the time, to be honest. And I found that whole BT celebration thing just really, really inappropriate, because they were jumping up and down like it was when we won the European Cup in '99. And if you watch that game, it was just so dodgy. It was unbelievable. Mad Marcus, who will win on Sunday. Tired of hearing all the excuses for English teams. They do badly because the EPL is overrated, says We Love Peace 1348. Which I would agree. I mean, I don't want to diss the Premier League, but I think that there are massive strides that need to be made. And in a funny way, I think it's so important that we get back in the Champions League, Ross, because I don't think under Mourinho, I think we are what the Champions League needs to restore some pride back into English football in the Champions League, because I think Mourinho is a good manager in the Champions League, and I think we will be the team that starts to bring some success back. I'm not saying we're going to win it, but I think, apart from Leicester and again another amazing achievement for them, consistently getting to semi-finals again, but we've got to get back in the Champions League, which is why this is so important.
Yeah, and like you say, a manager in the Champions League can make such a difference. And what you just said there about United being in the Champions League, I don't think it's any coincidence, the fact that English teams have done poor since United have kind of bowed out of it. And our last good season in it was probably Fergie's last season, which I thought we were going to go on and win. And I think it was a nanny red card at Real Madrid, which shouldn't have happened, which stopped that happening, to be honest. And that team that Fergie, which was looking like could win the Champions League, was quite a poor team, to be honest. It had Rooney, Robin van Persie, but the rest of it was filled with John O'Shea's and players like that. So a manager can make such a huge difference to a team, and Mourinho is a cup manager. Over 2 legs, I'd back Mourinho with even West Ham against some not top teams in Europe, but just teams, because he just knows how to grind out results. He knows the away goal rule. He's just very clever with what he does, and that's how he won the Champions League with Porto, who they had some phenomenal players at the time, but I don't think that were anywhere near at that time winning a Premier League. So manager makes a huge difference, and I still back Mourinho as the best cup manager in the world, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it'll make a big difference. This will make sense to anybody. We're live on the United Stand on YouTube. Get your Snapchats in about team news, anything on going through the game, goals, thoughts on the game. Send us and we'll put them up on YouTube. I'm just putting that up on the Snapchat account. So if you are following us on Snapchat, United Stand MUFC, all one word, no breaks. Send us your videos and we will put them up on the channel. And also get commenting, and we'll read some of those out now. Tyrone Williams has just said exactly what I was going to say. That nanny red card made me feel so angry when Roy Keane decided to stick his 2 pence in. Yeah, I think Roy Keane backed it. It was the most dodgy red card I've ever seen. And it totally and utterly did us. And to be fair, people might not remember this, Mourinho was the manager of Real Madrid, and he made 2 really brilliant substitutions where he basically put 2 attackers on and went for us, and Sir Alex didn't respond quick enough. and they ended up knocking us out, which I think they were going to do anyway. But Mourinho, in his after the match press conference, basically said the best team lost. But yeah,
well, just to dive in, Mark, again, like you said about Rio Ferdinand, Roy Keane, world-class player for Manchester United, club legend, but I think he's an absolutely awful pundit because he just wants to slam everyone and kind of make controversial calls. And I think that's what being a pundit is nowadays. The more controversial you are, the more Vine loops you get, and the more of a name you get for yourself, which is where we've gone down the road of, unfortunately.
Yep. Mad Marcus says, cheers, Goldie, I'm now a few quid richer. I don't know what he's done. I don't know how I've made him richer. But the match kicks off in exactly 40 minutes' time. And we need Mendy, says Nick Pasquet. I don't know. I spoke about that on the video last night. I love Mendy, but I think if Luke Shaw's staying, why do you want two very, very good left-backs? Louise, is Martial playing today? JJ Lee? No, the team is just going on the bottom of the screen right now. Romero, Valencia, Bailly, Rojo, Darmian, Carrick, Pogba, Mkhitaryan, Lingard, Rashford and Zlatan. I think the Darmian selection is quite interesting, Ross. I mean, whatever people think about Fellaini or Lingard, and I'd say in the Lingard case, I know a lot of people do like Lingard and a lot of people don't. I wouldn't say it's an even split. I'd say probably 60% don't want him playing and 40% don't mind it. I think in the case of Fellaini, it's very hard to tell because the bandwagon people jump on and off, quicker than Liverpool fans on a title run. But with Darmian, I think collectively, universally, nobody would really want him to be playing at left back. And he's a funny one because Mourinho won't play him for ages, and then he pops up in a game like this from nowhere, and he's playing at left back. And you wonder, well, if he's going to play Luke Shaw on Sunday against Chelsea, which I would hope he is, then why not just play Daley Blind tonight?
I think Jose likes this lopsided wing-back thing that we've got going on at the minute, and it was quite telling that when Valencia dropped out the team, Luke Shaw comes straight back in, and it was all lopsided. When Darmian was on the right, we didn't play down the right-hand side. And tonight, Darmian's going to be on the left, and we're not going to play down the left-hand side, but it's all going to be Valencia because he's back. So, not that I agree with it, I just think that Mourinho likes to have one full-back at least that sits, as opposed to having two that are bombing forward, which I would rather see two, to be honest. But I think playing Darmian as well might be telling on where Rashford's going to play, because obviously Rashford is not going to be dropping deep, which is fantastic because there was early signs that Mourinho was getting him to play as like a left wing back, which was just not right. So hopefully he's put Darmian at left back to kind of say to Rashford, don't worry about covering Darmian, he's going to sit, we'll play down the right and just stay on the last man. But I don't know if I agree with it, but I just think that's the tack that he's taken with it.
Carl Stanton says, Mark, why are you shocked about Darmian? Mourinho always has one full-back tuck in while the others bomb forward. Shaw is more attacking. Let's not forget we are away as well. Dante Gerrard, Mark Goldbridge is up there with Anton Deck for presenting. Now, I could read that one or two ways. I'm actually going to take it as a disrespectful thing because I think Anton Deck are a pair of... but maybe he likes Anton Deck, so maybe it's a compliment. I don't know. You need to be more precise. But I'll take it as I take it. MUFC fan 909, what happened to Valencia? I don't know. He's fine as far as I'm concerned. He's in the starting lineup. He has been injured. Why Mourinho never plays Martial, says Sahel? I don't know. We seem to have this running theme at Manchester United, and it's been going on ever since the days of Sir Alex Ferguson leaving. Sir Alex Ferguson would pretty much pick the best players that you would hope would play. But ever since Sir Alex has left, Ross, it seems every manager, you're always there going, why is he not playing? He should be playing. I remember with Moyes, we would say it about Kagawa. With Van Gaal, it was always Mata and Herrera, amongst others. And then under Mourinho, it's been numerous players this season. Shaw, Mkhitaryan, Martial probably the most now.
Yeah, I mean, Ferguson was just absolutely perfect at it. Like you just said, every player that I wanted to see in a Manchester United shirt would always get a game under Ferguson because he was the same. He wanted people to entertain him. And, because of the whole Ronaldo 100 goals thing, I've been seeing images of his debut against, I think it was Bolton in the Premier League, and it was phenomenal. And everyone wanted to see more, and he played. I think that the good thing about it is that Moyes, relied on youth too much, and we wanted to see Januzaj, but he had to have Januzaj because he had no one else creating opportunities. Van Gaal again, he just relied on these players that weren't quite ready, and I think what Mourinho's brought back to United is the fact that we haven't got to rely on Martial anymore. We haven't got to rely on Rashford anymore. We've got a squad, we've got a team, and it can rotate, which I think is a good thing. We were spoilt last year with Van Gaal, but we were spoilt the wrong way, to be honest. It was forced. Yeah, Rashford and Martial were phenomenal, but the rest of the team was shite. But it's nice that we're getting a bit of a squad back, and every player now has to earn their place in the team unless your name's Zlatan, obviously.
Yeah, well, he just gets picked, doesn't he? If you are on the live comments, you can make a super chat, which is the $ at the bottom. If you do, please leave a comment there. We will always read them out. If you get frustrated that you're not getting read out, because there are a lot of comments on there, we can't read everybody's out. But if you really want to, you can do it through a super chat, and obviously that contributes to the United Stand, like people do on Twitch and stuff. So to support the channel, if you want to do that, Cam Yar said. And this is probably the best $2 he's ever spent. He says, Mark Goldbridge, United next manager. I'll take the job. I will take the job. But I know that'd be a controversial choice. But I wouldn't mind it. I think Mourinho's doing a good job at the moment. But I wouldn't have minded it under Van Gaal and Moyes, that's for sure. And a bloody rocket in that dressing room at times. But yes, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the team. No Fellaini in it, which always lowers my blood pressure. And it's a midfield that I like. We won't be. The thing is, we won't be seeing Carrick on Sunday. So I suspect we will see Herrera, Fellaini, and Pogba, which is really frustrating. But there you go. I'm just going to do some Snapchats, Ross, just to do some Snapchats. Let's see what we can do. Get the volume up. Not add films. There we go. David.
Just a quick one on Luke Shaw. I don't think we'll ever see both Shaw and Valencia being played at fullback. We know that Mourinho likes to play with one defensive fullback.
Oh, that's interesting. Doesn't think we'll ever see Shaw and Valencia playing together because he likes a defensive fullback. I'll come back to you on that, Ross. J May.
Team news today is a rather strong lineup, but Darmian playing ahead of Luke Shaw is the only concern for me.
He's not happy about Darmian playing ahead of Luke Shaw. GJ Barrow.
I think we need two wingers, like maybe a Griezmann for the number 10 and like Sanchez for the wing, possibly. Something like that.
He wants Griezmann and Sanchez. Sky Sonseth.
Hi Mark, I'm really happy. I'm excited that Fellaini's on the bench. That means that our midfield is going to move really quick. I'm really happy for this game. I'm looking forward to it.
Going to take some more in a minute, but two good points there. The last one, Ross, saying that, Fellaini, and to be fair, I should have clarified this. It was poor on my part. I always say I don't want Fellaini to play, but that's the reason. We will move the ball quicker. He is very slow with the ball. And also the point there about... Oh, I'm just watching Solskjaer's winner. One of the best moments of my life. But, the fact that he doesn't think we would see two attacking fullbacks. It's not Mourinho's style.
Yeah, no, they're great Snapchats, to be honest. And that Fellaini comment, we knew it, but we haven't really spoken about it, which is true. And even with, Herrera should have been in this team if it was full strength, but without Herrera, and if Mkhitaryan is dropping in, Mkhitaryan and Pogba, moving about with Carrick supplying them, is incredibly mobile, to be honest. And we've had to sit through. I don't like to criticise Fellaini too much. I criticise Mourinho for playing him there, but Fellaini can't play that role. His passing is absolutely awful. So hopefully, it does excite me. We're going to see some flowing, attacking football, hopefully. And it'd be interesting to see Mkhitaryan, because I'd like to see him on the ball more. And I feel like when he's playing winger or playing number 10, he doesn't get on the ball as much. It'd be interesting to see him running from a slightly deeper position. So, yeah. Loads of good points, and the Shaw thing, I think I touched on it a little bit earlier. I just think, I don't agree with it, like the Snapchat said, but that is Mourinho's style. He likes that. He likes one wing back to sit, and which explains why Luke Shaw got the game time when Valencia was injured. And it seems like he's always going to pick, and he kind of did that at Chelsea, did he not? I mean, he made Aspilicueta a right back. Oh yeah, and Ivanovic, yeah, exactly. So and he's always had sort of an Ashley Cole. So always had Ivanovic sort of sitting, Ashley Cole bombing forward, and that's kind of the way that he's developed, the Mourinho style, if you like, which I'm not going to disagree with too much. Like I say, if everything Mourinho did I was going to like, then he'd be Sir Alex Ferguson again, and he's not. We're not going to get that again, so we just got to kind of roll with it, to be honest.
I've just noticed that Paul Scholes is never on BT Sports anymore. I don't know why that is. He was one of the only people who spoke sense. I'm just watching Michael Owen at the moment. What's the Snapchat? Says Ryan Willingham. It's United Stand MUFC, all one word. Are you watching the match? It's not started yet. Professor Fat Cakers says he can't see the $sign. It's at the bottom next to the emoji thing. It might not be available in some countries. Pogba isn't even the best midfielder in United now, says Siraj's opinion is better. The day I contribute, Fellaini will be sold, says Beer Eat. Bit of banter going on in the comments there. We'll move past that. Steve Nesbitt says slow football because Carrick's playing. I think if you don't understand Carrick, you don't understand football. We won't be slow because Carrick's playing. At all. Carrick can move the ball quicker and further than anybody else in our squad. And Mark Teta says the trophy is ours and Pogba must play good after the criticism, says Samir. Very quickly on Pogba, I don't know whether anybody or even you, Ross, saw his comments last night, but they were very good comments.
Yeah, I did see him, yeah, fantastic.
And I think it will suit him tonight. I think in the European games it suits him because it's slightly slower.
Yeah, do you know what? I thought fair play to Pogba to stand up to the media and kind of say it how it is. I mean, I think Man United fans as well have been been victims of getting on his back a bit. And I think it's his first season. What do we expect of the man? We have to forget that transfer fee and just think that we have Paul Pogba in our midfield. And I'd much rather United with Paul Pogba than without. And I think we've seen snippets of him without when he was injured, and we drew 2 games in a row. So I think we're a much better team with him. I think he'd come here when we didn't have Champions League football, which I hold my hat off to him for, because not a lot of people in the world, as prestigious as him would do that. So I am a big Paul Pogba fan, and they're the reasons for it, to be honest. I think we're lucky to have him. And as much as he's lucky to be here, I understand that. He earns, probably an incredible amount of money, but he could have earned that anywhere else in the world, to be honest, and anyone else in the world would have taken him, and I think a lot of other clubs in the world would have paid that fee. So I think we're lucky to have him. I think his first season's been good. It hasn't been world class, but I think he's been good. I think he's been with Herrera one of our best midfielders, but let's not forget Herrera's played 3 years in the Premier League, more than him in a row, and been at United 3 years longer in this current phase. So you'd kind of expect that. I didn't expect him to come into the team and completely smash it. But next season, I'll be playing with what we'd hope a better player next to him. I think that we'll see more from him.
Yeah, I mean, Pogba this season, for me, has just never concerned me. Well, he has, I'd be lying. There's been games where I've said Pogba should be taken off, like Liverpool. I thought there was a massive opportunity against them, and we never turned up collectively, and Pogba was probably the worst player on the pitch, but Mourinho won't sub him, and we know that. It's a bit like Zlatan. So he has disappointed me a bit this season, but there's never been a point where I've ranted, said, oh, he's a waste of money, said he's a flop or anything like that, because I really do think next season's when we'll judge Pogba. And I've been saying that for months now. It's next season where it matters, and I don't have major concerns about him, because I see, probably a bit like what you were saying there, Ross, I've seen enough of him over the years and this season that suggests to me that he can be a really important team in our side, and he can be a fixture in our team that could win Champions League, Premier League and everything like that. I think currently when you look at the team, there are still players that I'm not convinced are first team players if we want to win the league. I mean, I'm not convinced Herrera is, and that people will be shocked by that, because I love Herrera, but I think in a first 11 to win you a Premier League, I think Herrera becomes more of a squad player, because you go and sign your DM of the quality of a Kessie or someone like that. You play them next to Pogba. You bring Griezmann in, and then where does Herrera play? But he becomes a squad player. But Pogba, for me, is still a very, very important player. Just looking at the fixtures there, we did get it right. It is Burnley after the second leg. away from home, which would be a tough game. But that's top 4 if we're going to go for it.
I'll actually be at the Swansea game as well, and just to dispel the myth that United Stand don't go to games. You're going on Sunday, and I'll be up there in a couple of weeks. Yeah,
well, we do go. It's going to be a very interesting day on Sunday because I've not been for a couple of years, and sort of was given. I've had loads of opportunities to go, but I always choose to not go to do the watch-alongs and that. But the watch-along will still happen on Sunday. It's all set up, so I will be going to the game, and I'm looking forward to it because I've not been for 2 years to a league game. I've been to Old Trafford for various things, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll be doing a vlog, and We'll see how it goes, but I'm glad I'm going to this one because I've been saying for weeks and I think months we will beat Chelsea, and we'll see. Carrick captain, what do you think? Says Lamar. I don't think Mourinho thinks much about the captaincy, to be honest. As we saw at the weekend, Man United doesn't have enough talent around Pogba. Pogba has more talent around him at Juventus. Well, I thought Pogba came out with some brilliant comments yesterday, Ross, but then he let himself down by saying that him and Fellaini work really well. Just shows he's still got a little bit of learning to do, because I can tell him categorically him and Fellaini don't work well. Fellaini does not bring the best out of Paul Pogba at all, which is why that comment from I think it was LA Brits said that Pogba works well when he's got attacking responsibility and he's got somebody behind him he can trust, and Fellaini just doesn't fit with Pogba at all. He can't find passes, he's not quick enough. I don't think he works well at all. I think the best midfield 3 we've seen this season was Herrera as a sort of holder, Pogba and Mata, and I think that works brilliantly.
Yeah, it was a little bit strange. The only thing I can read into that is why he'd enjoy playing with Fellaini is because he'll take a little bit of the physical aspect away from Pogba, because when Pogba plays, let's not forget, he wins all the aerial challenges in midfield. He does all the tackles. He is our physical presence. And Fellaini could take a little bit of that away from him and let him concentrate more on his football, to be honest. But, tactically and passing-wise, Fellaini's horrendous. So, a bit strange. But, his comments, I thought that was offensive. If anyone hasn't watched it, it was a really good press conference. And it's good to just hear it straight from the horse's mouth and hear his views on the media, his views on the criticism, and how he feels like his time's gone with United, because he was positive, which I was a little bit surprised with. I didn't know if he was doing that just to be defensive, but it looked like he genuinely was pleased with how it was going at United. And when you look back at it and you think, hang on, EFL Cup, we are still fighting for top 4. And it's a big if, we win the Europa League, if you'd have given me that at the start of the season, I'd have been ecstatic, and I think Pogba would have been as well. And I think I read today that Zlatan has never won a European Cup.
It's true, so, it's an amazing thing, yeah.
Again, for him as well, I mean, it's probably one of the reasons why they all joined. So, and I think, my views on Pogba are as is. I think he's been, good, not fantastic, but I think he's improved our team, and that's, for the first season, all we could ask for the guy.
I'll tell you what, I'll say something about Pogba, is when he was at Juventus and I was seeing all these goals and how well he was playing, I just lamented it so much. I was just so unhappy as to how we let that player go. To have him back, we're really lucky. And I know it's been a really up and down season, but when he gets going, and the one thing he stopped doing, which I always thought was a game changer in relation to any midfielders in world football, was his ability to run at people, which he seems to have stopped doing. Because you commit a midfield player and go past them, and it messes up the opposition so much because they've got to move somebody out of position to go and deal with him. I want to see him doing that a hell of a lot more. But CWC Gaming has just come out with a very interesting breaking news comment. I think BT Sports may just be about to shut down based on this comment. Michael Owen has just said, "What's the difference between Fellaini and Carrick?" I mean, that is something else. That is. I mean, we know he's not all there, but that is, if ever there was a comment that sort of stereotypically showed that footballers are very good with their feet and have got nothing upstairs. I mean, Jesus wept. That is pretty much. He's come out with some pearlers in his life, but that one's right up there. I can't really say anything more than that, Ross. But what is the difference between Fellaini and Carrick? I could write a book on it.
I don't know why he I'll give him a little bit of credit because he does come out on BT Sport week in, week out and comes out with corkers like this and still thinks he's a good pundit. And, someone at the BT head office has been given a backhander to, like you say, not have Paul Scholes on, but have him on. Because, again, fantastic player. I don't take anything away from what he did as a player, apart from the injuries, obviously. But as a pundit, he's absolutely awful. And do you know what? A lot of these pundits, I don't want to come down too hard on them, but they are failed managers. And you can see why, with a comment like that, why Michael Owen would never, ever make it as a manager in the game.
As Suraj says, he must be on drugs. Are you joining us at half-time, Ross, or are you busy?
I think I might be busy, Mark. I'm actually about to have dinner.
No worries. Okay, well, thanks for popping on.
No, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. And I'll see you Saturday. Enjoy Sunday, mate.
Okay, pal.
And I'll see you later.
Cheers, Ross. And you can follow Ross at Hazza90 for those people who are on Twitter. That flew by. It was really good because the Europa League is always a bit of a pain because we have to go live a little bit early because of the team news. But that hour has gone very quickly and we are 20 minutes off kickoff. I'm just going to take some of your Snapchats. United Stand MUFC, all one word on Snapchat for those people who are on it. And Imazar, let's take this one.
I'm worried that Carrick is playing today. Maybe that will mean that we'll not get to see him against Chelsea. What do you think, Mark?
That was a good comment, that was, because I was a bit disagreeing. You said, I'm worried that Carrick's playing today, but then you rescued it by saying it means he won't play against Chelsea. Yeah, it does worry me. We'll talk about Chelsea tomorrow night at 8:30 on the preview, but Herrera will be back. But if we play Fellaini against Chelsea, it will make it very hard for us to win because it's down to 10 men. And people can say that's being really disrespectful to Fellaini, but they've got Kante in their midfield, as well as of a lot of other quick players. It will be really interesting. Oh no, I just saw a Star Wars thing and I thought it might be the new trailer, but it's Rogue One. Big Star Wars fan. And let's take another one. Dan?
Who do you think will score the goals for Man United today?
You can't go far wrong with Zlatan, Dan. I suspect that Zlatan will score. NJ36 Carroll.
What's your score prediction for tonight's game, Mark?
3-1. 3-1. Ross went 3-0. I'm going 3-1. I think there'll be goals in this game. I don't know loads about Anderlecht, but I don't think they're great. I don't think they're going to sit back. So hopefully it'll be a good game. Really excited. I'm going to talk about Tielemans in a minute. Kiddup.
United Stand Army. What's up, Mark? Any news about Guillermo Varela? Cheers.
Varela was on loan at German club. Always forget the name of them. On the tip of the tongue. I think he picked up an injury. I don't think he's setting the world on fire. I think we'll be selling him in the summer. It's not Vitesse Arnhem because that's Dutch. I can't remember the name of the club he went to in Germany. Somebody will comment about it. Danny Sheehan?
I think Mane will win us the Europa League because he's a great player and he has a great ambition for the club. The fucking club!
I think that's a Liverpool fan. Abs K?
Mark, I want you to ask Mad Marcus if I can pipe his chick, Louise.
Cool, it's all going off on the live comments. Banter or not? I mean, there's love wars on there. Ben Mooney 6. Just a picture of my face. G.J. Barrow.
The United of Manchester got this, son. You know it.
Krish HC.
With Jose picking up Darmian is that he wants a defensive left back on one side and an attacking right back, which is Valencia.
Cut off in your prime. We'll come back to the Snapchat. Send us during the game. Goals would be nice to get some of them. Eintracht Frankfurt was it. Yeah, I knew it was 2 words. That's what Vitesse Arnhem, Eintracht Frankfurt, wrong country as well. Yes, Tielemans. Let's talk about Tielemans. Captain of Anderlecht at 19 years of age. 20 in May. I think he's about 5'9". I see him as Pogba. In Pogba's position. What I'm looking about Tielemans today, and we are taking a leap of faith. This is red rumours. This is not red facts. we are not linked to Tielemans. You know, we've not been linked to him. We are playing him over 2 legs. He's 19 years of age. He's going to move at some point. Monaco are meant to be front runners for him. But if there's any interest from Manchester United, what better chance to pin that home than these 2 games? So it's a double-edged sword. Do you want him to play so well that he knocks us out? Of course not. I want us to win comfortably, but that lad to, you know, show what he's got. So it's a scout watch for all of us, and it's the best way to scout watch, isn't it, when they play your club? People will always think back to the friendly we played against Sporting Lisbon. Gary Neville got torn a new arsehole. No, I don't think it was Gary Neville. I think John O'Shea might have played it right back. It's a bit of a myth that it was Gary Neville. And it was a pre-season friendly, and it was against Sporting Lisbon, and it was a young Ronaldo, and they begged Ferguson on the plane, is the way the story goes, to sign him up, and we did. So let's see what happens with Tielemans. I hope he plays well, and if he does play well, I'd like to see us sign him. But I've got a funny feeling we won't be signing Tielemans. But there we go. John Svensson's obviously joined us a bit late because he's saying, why is Lingard starting? And what, a 19-year-old as captain, says Ewan Gordon. Well, it is the Dutch league. Rick Powell says Tielemans sucks, get Vigel. The match has not started yet. It starts in 15 minutes time, Christy. And Tielemans has 150 appearances for Anderlecht already. Plenty of you watching. Please click the like button. We've never had 1,000 likes before kickoff before. We normally get it around the start of second half. So, come on, let's do it. Might be a good omen. Might be good, actually. Get 1,000 likes before kickoff, and let's see how many wins Manchester United have in a row. No snooper. We've not had any super chats tonight, apart from one other. What happened to Ali? I thought I was going to be able to retire off him. Joking. Tielemans excites Samir Hassan. Hopefully it's not in a sexual way. And it just got that... I just got that Star Wars thing. We need a Kante, says Tari. Trailer will be coming out tomorrow for Star Wars, says Mike Marnas. Yeah, I think it will do. There's some sort of Star Wars convention, and they did the tribute to Princess Leia, which I haven't watched yet, but I've been sent the link, which is meant to be very good. Kwame says it would be suicide to play Fellaini against Hazard and co. We will, though. And Samir Hassan sort of stolen my thunder for one of my lines of the preview tomorrow. Herrera versus Kante Part 2 without a stupid referee to ruin it. Will be very true on Sunday. Very excited. Carrick on his day is the Mercedes engine in our midfield, says Free Jang. I mean, those days are running out. They are limited now, but I still think he can do it in a game like this. My player of the year, says Chad Sproul. For Manchester United, it would be Valencia. For the Premier League, I think I would go with Kante because he didn't get it last year. And I do feel that Chelsea have been very lucky. They've played well, but no European football. Kante, and a team that were champions anyway, just down tools for Mourinho. I mean, that's what Kante inherited. Sahil Singh makes a good point. There's no point in buying Tielemans because we've got Pogba. I think you'll see tonight that they are the positions they play are very similar. Where would you fit Tielemans in? He's not a number 10, and he's not a holding midfielder. He is the Pogba. So would he be happy to come and be second fiddle to Pogba when he's playing week in, week out as captain for Anderlecht? I suspect he'll want to go somewhere first team football. I don't think he'll get it at United while we've got Pogba. Where Luke Shaw at, says Lanky Boykes. He's on the bench. CWC Gaming, who's the ref for United and Chelsea? I don't know. Nigel Reed says, Mark, the watch-along is perfect while doing taxes for 11 hours. Shout out from America. Boyo, you've just given me a really good idea that I'd forgotten to do it before the last game. It's one of my favourite parts of the pre-part of the show. Get commenting and liking. We're not at 1,000 likes yet, but also just let me know. Just want to watch a shot here from Tielemans. He's a good player. He is very Pogba-esque, though. He's got a cracking long shot on him. A very good long shot. And... just watching some of his finishes. He is like Pogba, though. Not necessarily in the way he plays, but the position he plays. Where are you watching from was what I was going to ask. Let us know. And we'll shout out a few of the places where you're watching from. One of my favourite parts of the preview bit before the show. Daniel Miller's from USA. Bristol for Bradley. But I just think it's great because the United Stand is the global United fan channel. We really have always promoted that. And I know that we get a lot of people watching. Alex O'Donnell from Las Vegas. Mr. Mastermind 149 is from India. Jacksonville for Brendan. We're not getting as many comments flying in as normal. Sweden for Imps Delight. London for Rouge Gaming. Karl-Heinz Sterling from Jamaica. Fallowfield Manchester says Ryan Horn. Waterford Island says Sean Hennebury. Moss Norway. Bulgaria. Tipperary. Norway. India. Norway. Tipperary. USA, Florida, Cork, Hull, Philippines, Gloucester, Jamaica, Ireland, New Jersey, East London, Gloucester, Andover, Barbados, Los Angeles. Mark can have a shout out, says Swaztekers. Barbados, London, India, Nairobi, Kenya, Nepal, LA again, Antarctica, Nepal, Vatican City, I don't believe you, Ireland. What's today's lineup for Manchester United? It's going on the bottom of the screen for you now, but I'll do it for you in a minute. Sweden for Ariane, Limerick Island. It's whizzing through now. Malmo, Essex, Cornwall, Bradford, Poland, Netherlands, Germany, Gloucester, Cyprus, Poland again, Jamaica, Poland. No one from Australia or New Zealand. Normally get a few. What time would it be there? 7 in the morning, I suppose. It's not a great time, is it? Not a great time if you're in Australia, although I just saw a Melbourne. Greece. Okay, we're fast moving towards the game now. Very excited about this. Very excited indeed because this is probably the harder game of the two. And we need to win it. Of the two legs, this is where if it's going to go wrong, it will go wrong. So we've got to be on our game tonight. Comfortable and confident that we will beat them at Old Trafford. But I think we're going to win this one as well. I've got to be totally honest. I'm not of the concerned variety. That's the timer. Don't worry about that. I always have to make sure it's running okay. So let me just reset. So when the game kicks off, the timer, which is if you look to my left, you can see Anderlecht 0, Man United 0. Under the 0-0, you'll see the timer. It's 8, 9, 10. So that is working fine. As soon as the game kicks off, we will start the timer. So it's off for the moment. Live chat, get involved, give us your thoughts during the game, and we'll shout some of you out. If you want a guaranteed shout out, you can do that through the super chat option, which is the $sign at the bottom. Contribute to the United Stand, support the channel, etc. But if you do that, please do leave us a question or a comment because we want to shout you out. The live comments will move quick when I'm asking everybody where they are calling from, they are watching from. Don't worry, it will slow down again in a minute. Score prediction for me is 3-1. Team is Romero, Valencia, Bay and Rojo, Darmian at left back, Carrick, Pogba, Mkhitaryan, Lingard, Rashford, Zlatan. I'm happy with that team. There's pace in it, there's movement in it, there's speed of ball in it, and I think that's what happens when you take Fellaini out. So yeah, very happy about that. Plenty of you watching. Please hit the share button, and if you are on Twitter or Facebook or something, click the share button below and just share it on your accounts. That'd be great. Let's get a lot of people watching. It's probably our biggest game of the season so far. Really looking forward to it, and hope Pogba scores, says Forever United. I wouldn't, if you're a gambling man, I bet you get good odds, and I could see him, he'll have a chance today. It's whether he can put it away. He's been quite unlucky this season. Kevin Bruno says good luck to the boys. Less than 10 minutes to go, says MC Imperial. United we love, says Thomas. Let's get rid of Sabat. We can't have people doing that. Chelsea's going to go to put a beating on United, says CFC 007. No way, mate. I am going to Old Trafford on Sunday to make sure that we win it, and there's no way we're going to lose. Mad Marcus, I'm waiting for you to Skype me so you can join me we are very, very close to kickoff. Fight in the stands and Leon Besiktas, says Nigel Jones. What a surprise. Love from Nottingham, says Patrick. And when's kickoff, says United lads. 5 minutes. And Odan Francis, he says he likes cheesecake. Robert Taylor says, am I tired? Yeah, I'm a bit tired, but I'll get going when the game starts. We've been live for over an hour, an hour and 15 minutes. The Europa League build-ups are a bit of a grind, but we get through it quickly together. Peckham. We will be keeping an eye on the scores in the other games. Don't worry about that. Marcus is about to join me now, so we'll see what he's got to say. Can you hear me?
Hi, mate. You all right?
Yeah, good. What's your thoughts on the team?
I'm liking the team. One negative for me is Luke Shaw.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Fellaini not playing then.
No. Darmian at left back. I think Luke Shaw, he hasn't done nothing wrong for the last 2 games. So I think he should have started tonight, the European game. And I think he deserved a chance. Mourinho looked like he was impressed with him in the last game. Give him the arm round the shoulder. But apart from that, mate, I think it's a pretty strong team.
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling he might just be keeping him back with Herrera for the home game against Chelsea, because it's a little bit more attacking, isn't it? Whereas tonight he might be thinking, I want to go a little bit more defensive because we are the away side. Hopefully, I think we'll learn a lot about Luke Shaw's future at United on Sunday, because if he doesn't start, I would be a little bit worried.
Yeah, if he wants to go and win the game, doesn't he? The 4-0 drubbing and the FA Cup game, I think it was. Yeah, I don't think he'll want to lose again, and I think he wants to, put it right. It's been a while since United have actually beaten Chelsea, I think, isn't it? So, hopefully, it's an attacking team Sunday. Luke Shaw hopefully starts. I don't think, as much as I hate to say it, I don't think Fellaini will be the answer Sunday. But with Carrick playing tonight, it looks likely.
Yeah, somebody just said in the live comments there, do we think Carrick will play on Sunday? I think there's 0 chance of Carrick starting on Sunday if he started today. And I think there's a very good chance that obviously, Herrera will start because he's obviously been kept back. But I think Fellaini will start, which somebody said it before. I think it's absolutely suicide to pick Fellaini against Chelsea, but there we go. We've got a comment, $5 contribution from Demishi, probably, Williams. He says, Mark, do you think Pogba will perform better than Tielemans today? If not, maybe we get Tielemans and have Pogba play second fiddle next year. That's interesting. Tielemans has had a really good season. They are very similar in the positions they play. We're all excited to watch Tielemans and see how he does. But I think Pogba will. I still believe Pogba will be the better player. We're really nearly about to kick off. So if you've not liked the video, please do it, because I think if we get 1,000 likes, we'll win, and then we can get that rolling as a sort of superstition before every game. Samir Hassan, Carrick today, Fellaini on Sunday equals bad news. Yeah, I think it's just sad that he has to play in one of them. I wouldn't play him in either. But
well, I was listening to the pundits, the so-called pundits earlier, and I think the comment that Michael Owen said about Fellaini and Carrick was just absolutely fantastic.
He's just an idiot. For those who didn't hear it, Michael Owen, who's played football at a high level, said, "What's the difference between Michael Carrick and Marouane Fellaini?" Even if Fellaini's a decent player, the big difference is that they're just totally different players for a start. But the bloke's an absolute clown. Absolute clown.
It's good news as well that De Gea's on the bench as well, because I was hoping that Mourinho was telling the truth, and it was a rib injury or a wrist injury or something. So I'm glad that that's put the thing in the papers where they've had a disagreement to bed.
Yep. I'm going to keep you updated with all the other games that are kicking off at the same time. That includes Besiktas, Lyon, Schalke, Ajax, and Celta Vigo v Genk. Hopefully we'll be playing one of them in the semi-finals. However, I am told that there is trouble in the Besiktas Lyon game. Fans throwing objects, people on the pitch. So it may well be that game gets cancelled. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it did, because I tell you what, it's not even in bloody France. It's not even in Turkey either. Football, eh? Football, eh?
Yeah. I mean, what with the Dortmund thing as well the other night, it's not something we want to see again.
No. We certainly do not. If you are new to the United Stand because you found us, it's popped up or whatever like that, we are the United Stand. We are the biggest independent Manchester United fan channel for the fans, by the fans. It's your channel to get involved with. We always have the live comments up there. Bottom right hand corner, there's a little hologram. Make sure you click it and subscribe, and make sure you've hit the bell next to that so that you get notified. We're a live content channel. We're live every night at 8:30. Tomorrow night we'll be live with the Chelsea preview, which will be interesting. But yeah, get involved. We're not just about the watch along. We've got loads of other content. Transfer stuff is starting to pick up again now as well. So get involved. The game is about to kick off, so I need to get the timer ready to go. What was your score prediction, Marcus?
Oh, do you know what? I'm pretty confident with this, mate. If they've rotated their team with going for the league, the playoff thing that they do out there, I'm going to say 2-0 for me.
But have they? I don't know whether they have rotated their team. I don't know enough about them. Tielemans is their best player and he's playing. So
I know that going by some research, they've dropped. They've rotated, probably the better word. 2 or 3 of their good players. I'm not going to try and pronounce it, mate, because I just cannot do that. But there are 2 or 3 that have been left out, or they're either on the bench. I mean, obviously Tielemans is the star name of their team. I'm quite surprised he's captain in the side as well.
Yeah, Nigel James just says Tielemans a captain at 19. Very impressive. Right, let's block you, car picturator, and I just wanted to have a quick look as to what the sort of team is.
Looks to me like Mkhitaryan's at 10.
Yeah, Mkhitaryan's definitely at 10, so it was pretty much as I predicted when the team news came out, despite everybody doubting me and saying Lingard would be 10 or we'd play a 4-4-2. We're definitely not playing a 4-4-2. I think it's an adaptive 4. Mkhitaryan's basically playing at number 10.
Yeah.
Lingard on the right and Rashford on the left. So there's a lot of pace in that team.
Yeah, definitely. There is fresh youngsters down the wings, pace, energy. Maybe I think, like you and Ross discussed it earlier, Rashford being better as like an impact sub. So possibly a shout for Martial down the left-hand side.
There was actually a pullback there for Anderlecht on the edge of the box, and he mishit it. Otherwise, he would have had a clear shot there. So let's not get too comfortable. Anderlecht are definitely packing the midfield and playing with one up front, which you pretty much expect that in Europe anyway, to be honest. But there's the wonder of Carrick there that people just take for granted. He's got the ball in the centre circle. He plays a forward pass of 30 yards, but he plays it like it's a 5-yard pass because his passing range is brilliant. Fellaini just can't do that. He just can't do it. He can only pass 5 yards. And Herrera, to be honest, he can't play long passes accurately along the ground. The weight of pass that Carrick gives is just so brilliant. And, he can't do it week in, week out anymore. I think if he could, we'd be higher in the league. But unfortunately, he can't. And what we get from tonight, we won't get on Sunday, unfortunately. He's just done it again. A lovely eye-the-needle pass. And if he pulls that, Rashford! He just needed to centre that to Lingard. And he was in. But again, Rashford's final ball, whether it's shooting, crossing, or passing, he just sometimes just delays too long.
But it's the final decision of him, isn't it? I mean, it's almost as if he's like caught in two minds when he's in situations like that. You know, sometimes the simpler option is the best option.
Yeah, but you know, it surprises me because Jose constantly sticks with him, and I was saying this before the game. I actually would start Martial today because I think bring Rashford on for the last half an hour. He's a brilliant impact sub. I think he's a better impact sub than Martial is, and I think Martial's a better starter than Rashford is. But you know, that's down to Jose.
I think Martial as well. He's for me, he's the type of player that grows into a game. You know, the longer he's playing, the more involved he gets. Whereas Rashford can just come on and just be dynamic and go for the throat straight away as soon as he's on the pitch. But good start for United so far.
Yeah, it's an open game though.
Yeah. I mean, Anderlecht, you know, the couple of changes that they've made, they're quite positive.
We just want to see United playing against teams who want to play football, and this is very open. Pogba should hit that there. I don't know why he's trying to play a 1-2 with Zlatan for pace. Disappointed that was, but very encouraging start to the game. And you know, I don't want to drill it home about Fellaini, but we're moving the ball a lot quicker.
Yeah, I mean going back, Anderlecht's last attack. I mean Romero with the clearance, not convincing. Trying to say he's fouled, but not for me.
Whoever's playing up front for them's got a good bit of pace about them. Looks quite big as well. But Tielemans tackles Pogba. It looks like it's going to be Tielemans on Pogba, which just gives it an added dimension. You know, I mean, I must repeat, we are not linked with buying Tielemans, but a lot of United fans, me included, and Drawty have said, you know, he's one of the best young players in Europe. It'd be interesting to see how well he does against us. The talk is he'll go to Monaco, which is just bloody typical because Monaco and Dortmund seem to buy all the best youth talent in Europe. But it'd be interesting to watch. Oh, Rashford there again. Ball over the top by Pogba. If he doesn't hesitate, he's got that.
It'll be some achievement for Tielemans if he gets the better of Pogba throughout the 90 minutes.
Well, it'll be all over the press, won't it? If it
does. I mean, being such a young age, against the most expensive player in the world.
NRM, why do you want me to visit that other YouTube channel? You've got to give me more than that. You've got my curiosity now.
I mean, so far, I mean, Daley Blind's been all right at left back, solid, calm, striking the ball about pretty well. Anderlecht are going to come out and give us a game as well, which I was hoping. Looks like Rashford's going to cut in from the left side as much as he can as well. But yeah, overall, first 5 minutes, all right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, considering we're away from home as well. I know we usually play better away from home in Europe, but quite pleased with this start. Closing down pretty quick. Someone's just said in the comments there, Pogba coming in too deep.
Oh, that's what she said. You serve it, I'll smash him. Well, I do think that Anderlecht are on the attack here. I do think the problem with Pogba is that he does play too deep now, whereas at the start of the season when he's played his best football, he's played a little bit higher. I like to see him running at people. I don't like to see him running after people. Michy, Leon v Besiktas is only delayed at the moment. There was concerns that it might be called off completely, but it's still on. And great tracking back by Rashford, says Ryan Allen. And Zane123 says, everyone sub to Arsenal Fan TV. I'll tell you what, I was actually talking to Robbie on Tuesday. He's got more than enough bloody subscribers. Subscribe to the United Stand. That's what I say. And also I say, why, as fans of other club, are you watching or subscribing to... Oh, Zlatan. You know, you've got to be critical of Zlatan there because we were about Rashford. And final ball again, just a little bit off.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
I'll tell you what, Romero looks a bit slippy at the moment. He's just slipped over again there. He needs to change his studs.
Just beforehand, I mean, Darmian's caught out of position there at left back. Rashford's had to come in and cover him, which is what I was saying about Blind, like being on the bench. He'll be calm and collected, just in case we need it later on. Playing some good football in the middle of the park, though.
Yeah.
Nice one-touch football coming.
I think Pogba is coming way too deep. I think it's a very good comment. And Jonah Hottinger says, we are not the best team at the moment. Well, you know, we're away in Europe. I just think people do get a little bit arrogant. You know, English teams in Europe are not great. And I know this is Belgium. We will beat them over 2 legs, but... You know, the equivalent of Anderlecht is probably a bit like going to somewhere like Stoke. That's a lovely ball by Pogba. But again, Lingard, like Rashford a few minutes ago, surely they learn in training what Pogba's going to do with the ball. It's like it comes to them and they think, oh no, it's not going to come to me. And then they stop and then they've lost that 2 yards of momentum. It's a cracking ball by Pogba. They surely, after 8 months, know he's going to play that sort of ball. And it's almost like they hesitate and then they realise, oh, it is a good pass.
Yeah. I mean, surely they must be drilled into, like, you know, expect the unexpected sort of thing. If you don't think it's going to come to you, like, still make the runs, you know, still provide the option.
It's interesting because Tielemans is sort of playing as a deep midfielder, which may well sort of prick Mourinho's ears up because he does need that sort of player. But I think it's just very impressive for a 19-year-old to be captain in a side anyway, and you know, against Manchester United. He's basically sticking to Mkhitaryan at the moment, Tielemans. So,
well, I mean, that's some achievement for the lad. Yeah, being 19.
Back four, overruns it, and gives a foul away.
I mean, there's a lot of hype about the boy, but you know, being captain in a Europa League quarter final.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know much about the manager. In fact, I don't know anything. But I mean, he must have some confidence in him to let him do it.
Tyrone Williams with an interesting, different slant on the Pogba. He says Pogba looks a much better player coming deeper. I love his passing range. This is what we need from him. So yeah, interesting. He has made a few good passes, but I just think to get the best out of Pogba, you need that attacking as well. We can't just be a sort of like quarterback hitting long passes.
Apparently Genk's just scored, Mott.
That's interesting. That would be a good result for us. Genk are from Belgium, I think, as well.
Just going by what the live comments said.
Yeah. I mean, Hallam 899 Live is bigging up your man, Tielemans.
It would be interesting to see how this kid does tonight over the full 90 minutes because, I mean, surely if he's being touted as one of the great youngsters in European football, Jose must have taken notice somewhere and think he must be watching him, or it's in the back of his mind, surely. I know we're not linked to him, but if Monaco and Dortmund are after him. Nice to see Valencia back as well.
Yeah, Valencia is very, very important for United. But I'll be amazed if this game finishes 0-0. There's definitely been a lot of space in it. It just feels like neither side has sorted out that final pass in the final third yet. But whoever does first will probably get in front. Interesting, Celta Vigo losing 1-0 at the moment, because they are actually, I thought they were at home, Genk. They're actually away against Celta Vigo, and well, we've got to beat Anderlecht ourselves, but if they could get a result, that would be very, very good in relation to another of the stronger teams getting knocked out.
Yeah. Well, is there any particular team assuming we get through, anyone you'd fancy our chances against?
I think we've got to fancy our chances against anybody, but you know, I think Besiktas, Lyon, Ajax, Schalke, Celta Vigo, they're all much of a much, really. They're all pretty, you know, we should beat them, but they're all dangerous in their own way. Talking of which, Anderlecht in the box at the moment. Cross shot, and it's they're forward, it's gone out off them. Bank holiday weekend, Good Friday tomorrow. What are you doing? I'm watching. Oh, I'm not going to do an Alan Partridge thing. I was going to say I'm watching every James Bond from back to front. But,
oh dear.
No, not really. I haven't watched James Bond in a long time. Oh, I do watch the Daniel Craig ones, to be honest.
Yeah.
I used to be a Bond fan, but I haven't really watched any of the older ones in a long time. But he gives it away there, and Anderlecht on the attack again. I'll tell you what I like about Anderlecht. They've got a lot of quick players. I'm a big fan of pace and speed, and it's just exciting. And they go quite direct, not in a long ball way, but in a way that they attack. It's 1-1. Celta Vigo have equalised. Thanks for that, Byron Bedford. No, I think Celta Vigo will put Genk away. I mean, you know, mid-table La Liga side against a Belgian side, you'd expect them to put them away.
Yeah.
But this is, you know, certainly if this was a boxing match, Marcus, you'd say at the moment no major punches thrown, but certainly both teams getting around each other, and it's a very even tie at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've not been worried for United in particular, but you know, Zlatan's and Pogba's tried the 1-2 outside the box. You know, Pogba's hit a couple of decent passes through to Rashford. Romero's made the mistake. Anderlecht, no doubt, are better at corners than what we are.
Tielemans takes their corners, by the way.
Well, I mean, that's interesting as well. I mean, considering we need someone to take corners.
Yeah. Oh, he is offside.
Yeah.
Scored, but he's offside. Good comment here from Dre Mack. He says, we still look terrible. The movement is too slow. The middle is too defensive. Rashford just runs with the ball, no creativity or technical ability. You know what? I don't like having a go at Rashford because I really like him, but I've been quite consistent about this all year. He's not a left winger. He's not a left winger. He's a centre forward, and I have not really seen him. I don't think did he start against Sunderland? I know he scored. I think he came on as a sub. Yeah,
he came on as a sub.
So he didn't start against Sunderland. He started against Everton as a left winger and was put in the pocket of Everton's young right back. I just don't think he's a left winger, but he's got a chance here. He's running at the. It's a good shot. It's a chance. Post for Lingard. Well, Lingard, Rashford must be listening. Cuts in on his right, put a cross in. Zlatan nearly puts it in past the keeper. It bounces to Lingard, studded it onto the post. I don't think it was a sitter missed by Lingard, but it was definitely nearly a goal. And Rashford suddenly seems to be listening because he's running at his man here. Got tackled. I'll have a go at Rashford a couple more times, I think. Then,
go for it.
He stepped it up a bit there. They always do, don't worry. But better from United, and they should be 1-0 up, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic chance. I mean, I just said I was worried about Romero with the slip and that, and we've not really done everything to threaten Anderlecht's goal, and then all of a sudden that comes out. Fantastic bit of attacking play there from United.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Rashford,
nice little flick by Zlatan, and Rashford tries the flick. You're not Zlatan. Pogba with a lovely little flick there to keep hold of the ball. I think Pogba will have a good game today. I predicted it because it's European football. Here we go. Rashford. I thought he'd scored. He ignored the mud. He got it right sort of on the edge of the box. And he had a pass to Lingard to put him in, but he ignored the run of Lingard He shoots from distance, and I tell you what, he's got the hit. It looks a bad shot, but it's got the dip on it. This is the cross again. Zlatan does get there. Keeper saves with his hand, palms it up, and then Lingard. He's not a sitter by any means. But that shot from Rashford, he got the right dip on it. It wasn't that far off at all.
Yeah, quite impressed there with his attacking intent. Did the right thing in that situation, most definitely.
I mean, Celta Vigo are winning 2-1 now. Short-lived hope that Genk might do something, but you know, still plenty of time. Still plenty of time.
I think the comments about Pogba coming deep again. I mean, just before Rashford's shot there, he's playing side by side with Carrick.
Yeah, he's playing very deep.
Yeah, I mean, he's picking it up, and he's springing the passes about. But if he's going to play that deep, then his passes got to be absolutely 100% accurate.
I'll tell you what, Mkhitaryan's... I mean, everybody started off okay, to be honest, but Mkhitaryan's doing well in that number 10 position.
Well, he's making the space there for Zlatan, I think. He's got Tielemans watching him.
Pass, which is typical. Ross Gallagher, Rashford's made a bright start. He's had a better last 5 minutes. In the first few minutes, he was a bit indecisive, but we should be one up, says Tyrone. Paul Mellor 20 times. Rashford needs to get closer to Darmian, but he looks on fire going forward. Love it. And is Martial playing, says Michael? No, he's not. He's on the bench. And that little flick by Pogba there was fantastic.
I'll tell you what, just to speak about Rashford again, I mean, he's tracking back as well. And he's certainly providing enough cover for Darmian down that left side.
Yeah, you've got to work in a Jose team, and I saw somebody saying it today, and it's very, very true. You know, people keep talking about whether we'll sign Rodriguez or Alexis Sanchez or an Mbappe or a Griezmann. I think what people forget about Griezmann is that we all want, well, most of us want Griezmann anyway, but the one thing that Mourinho will really like about Griezmann, apart from his world-class attacking abilities, is the fact that he's spent 3 or 4 years now in a very hard-working defence-first team at Atletico Madrid. And Mourinho will love that, a forward who is already well drilled in defending from the front. Because he hasn't inherited that with Martial and Rashford. As much as we like them, they're not really defenders from the front, and he's having to make them become that.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, Rashford, especially in the Arsenal game, I think it was, where he went at left back and Oxlade-Chamberlain just rinsed him. I mean, since then, whenever I've seen him play on this left-hand side, his defensive duties are done quite well.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Rooney? There's people sort of saying that these injuries he keeps picking up, it's all a myth. He's not really injured. It's just all a cover-up because to save his face, the fact that Mourinho doesn't want to pick him.
Yeah, well, I think that's a fantastic point. I really do. I mean, what I've heard in the press conference and just in the papers and that, he's got a slight ankle injury. I think if you're captain of Manchester United and you play through the pain barrier, don't you? I mean, and to be honest, Mark, I just don't think you trust him. I really don't. He's been out a long, long time. By the time if he comes back in, it's going to take him a few games to get back, back in the swing of things. I just don't think there's time left for him now this season.
The Lyon game is apparently still going to go ahead. It is not kicked off as of yet, which is a bit of a shame because it would have been nice to keep you up to date with that. It's 2-1 Celta Vigo and it's 0-0 in the Ajax and Schalke game. But it's 0-0 in this game. I don't think it. I think United actually in the last few minutes, Marcus, we were saying about 10 minutes ago that it's been quite even. I think in the last 5 to 10 minutes, United have certainly started to take control, which is encouraging.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've had the chance. Rashford's had the shot. The attacking intent is there. It's nice that Mourinho's. Well, some people thought he might have parked the bus being an away game, took a 0-0 back to Old Trafford, but it's nice to see these fullbacks getting forward as well. So
Tielemans on a run.
Yeah.
I think he was clipped there by Mkhitaryan. He was. He's going to get booked, Mickey, as well. Didn't need to do that, Mickey. But Ajax are 1-0 up as well against. They're playing Schalke, are they? I think they are playing Schalke, yeah. Yeah, it was a silly yellow card there by Mkhitaryan, because you can clearly see Pogba's coming in.
Rash mistake.
Yes. But I mean, we've only had 25 minutes in this game, but I as I suspected, I mean, I think if we can get a result in this tie, I can't see Anderlecht coming to Old Trafford and getting anything.
No, I think it's going to be. Our score prediction was 2-0, but I mean, I'd take a 1-0 most definitely. With Mourinho, no doubt, has got an eye on the Chelsea game Sunday. I'd take a 1-0 or a win anyway.
I love them passes by Carrick. Along the ground, 40-yard passes. I mean, it's very easy for me to say Fellaini can't do that. He can only do 5-yard passes. But again, Herrera can't do it either. He's got a better passing range than Fellaini. Of course he has. But those Carrick passes that are just so long and accurate, they just take players out of the game, and it gets you into that final third really, really quick. And he's played about, that one there, it looks like it's a 5-yard pass. It's nearly 15 yards, but he's got such a good passing range. Makes it look so easy. Good ball by Pogba talking about that, and Valencia had more time than to put that cross in like that. Yes, I think Carrick's been fantastic so far.
Yeah. A couple of people in comments there saying that Zlatan looks injured. I've not seen anything.
No, I haven't seen anything. I'm sort of keeping an eye.
A couple of people saying he was limping.
He did take a knock.
Oh yeah, he's took one there.
I think he's all right.
Probably just a knee in the thigh or something. Yeah, Carrick's passing's been pretty slick so far tonight. I think European games suit him, don't they? Because he gets the space to play those passes. People in the Premier League know what he's about, so they close him down a hell of a lot quicker.
Yeah. Keep an eye on Zlatan. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
But Carrick's passing tonight has been on the money. I mean, he just found my dad there, and he's been missing for 30 years.
That's a good one.
I think that looks like an impact from Zlatan, to be honest. I don't think there's. I just love it. I mean, 1989 Nicky D's on about Carrick there. I just think it gets used so often, and if you don't like Carrick, you don't understand football. But it's true. His passing again there, just not even looking.
Yeah.
Just reverse pass to Zlatan. And it looks like a 5-yard pass. It's not. It's a good, 20, 30-yard pass. It's just...
I mean, so far for me, the ball over the top from Carrick, probably about a minute and a half ago, over to Rashford. Not straight, but diagonal ball, over to Rashford. Fantastic pass.
When Carrick's on it, he's the best player in the world. And the thing is, a couple of years ago, week in, week out, he was so consistent. Pogba's just sent Tielemans to the butchers there with a bit of skill. But Tielemans has stayed at him, to be fair. It's a nice little drag back. But again, Carrick again into Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan can't quite control it. But, in many ways, I've got to say that... it's United's problem not putting the ball in the back of the net. But let's not forget, we're away from home and we are normally better. There we go. Mickey, pass one. Lovely little run. He's going to have to find a pass. He finds Lingard. Oh, good bit of defence. Good play, though, that was. Good defending. Lingard was just about to pull the trigger. But again, Mkhitaryan in tight spaces just skinned his man and he's away.
Well, that's Mkhitaryan's. That's what he'll do at number 10, isn't it? It's he can pull the defenders away, he can make the space, he can go past them. So that's the second bit of attacking play that's gone through Mickey so far tonight.
Yeah, I've been impressed with everybody.
Yeah.
I know Lingard gets a lot of stick, but he hasn't been bad. Rashford had a bad start. I'm a big fan of Rashford, but he's got better in the last few minutes. Zlatan has been Zlatan. I think some of his touch and final ball has been poor, but then at other times it's been fantastic. But I think Pogba and Carrick have both had a good game. But I think European football, I was saying about Carrick, he used to play like this week in, week out. He's on the decline now because of age. And you never quite know whether you're going to get the old Carrick or the plastic Carrick. But tonight, I think it just suits him well because it's European football's a little less frantic, a little, and that suits somebody like him. Is Stan Chu, ball over the top, and Romero picks it up. I'll leave it with you, Marcus, a minute. I'm just going to pop up and get myself a drink.
I'll read some comments out. Let's have a look. Christopher says, Mickey's struggling. Think I prefer him on the wing. Yeah, I think if matters fit, matter for me at the number 10. Master FIFA, we need to score soon. Yeah. Let's have a look. Damien, Carrick is finding space all over the pitch. He is. I was quite worried about him before the game because Anderlecht's midfield three looked pretty quick. Luca, great football so far. Yeah, it's been a good game. Yeah. Is that Guinness, Mark, is it?
Yeah, good old Guinness.
Yeah.
Can't drink it.
Darth Vader, character stationary, the modern day midfielder. Got to be athletic and mobile. Yeah?
Yeah, well, I think hopefully we will move into that in the summer and buy ourselves something like that because I think, you look at your Kantes, your Wanyamas, they are very effective. But
yeah.
This free kick position here, foul on Lingard, about 30 yards out, it is definitely not a position for Zlatan. It should be, I think, a Pogba, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'd go for Mkhitaryan on the end of this.
I think Martial's making a good tactic there. They just showed a picture of Martial on the bench with Fellaini, and he was laughing at one of Fellaini's jokes, and I think Mourinho saw it, so that might get him back in the team. It's Zlatan on the free kick. I mean, I'd love to see him score it, but I've never seen Zlatan score a free kick from 30 yards before. I'm prepared to be proved wrong. No, went past the wall, but then hit a defender. I just don't know why.
Nice.
Pogba can actually score from that free kick position. We've seen him at the post with it. And an absolute shocker of a free kick, to be honest. But we don't seem to be learning. We've turned free kicks into corners. We never score from corners, and now free kicks we may as well give them the ball back because we just don't do anything with them.
Do you think maybe Zlatan has
too much influence on the team? Yeah. I do. I really do.
I mean, yeah, apart from corners, I mean, the guy's near enough in control of everything on the pitch, isn't he, really?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I know we were talking about free kicks a few weeks ago, and somebody actually messaged me on Twitter and said, you're spot on about free kicks. He used to take the free kicks at PSG. Nobody could understand it because we had really good free kick takers, and he never used to score them. He was crap. It's almost like he's decided in his head that he's a good free kick taker, and everybody else just has to endure it. But that's the thing. That's the side I don't like about Zlatan, and I'm a big fan of his. But we're Manchester United. We're not, we're not bloody Liverpool or Stoke, where someone like Zlatan plays for them, and it's like we're not worthy. Do whatever you like.
That's right.
We're Manchester United. We've got people who are better free kick takers than you.
Well, I mean,
go on.
I was just going to say, I mean, do you think that's a Jose thing, or do you think that's a players thing where they don't want to go up to him and say, sorry, but you're not taking this one?
I think Jose should be telling him not to take them. It was an awful free kick, absolutely awful, and we've seen so many of them bad free kicks. He should be saying something, but there is this theory that Zlatan basically tells Mourinho what to do on some things. I mean, somebody was saying that the reason Martial doesn't play as much as he probably should is because Zlatan prefers to play with people like Lingard and Rashford because they're in awe of him and they'll pass him the ball, whereas Martial's quite a selfish player and Zlatan doesn't like that. Sounds ridiculous, but It's ridiculous how many free kicks he takes.
Yeah, it's almost as if he's got too big a influence, too big a say on what goes on.
I mean, I want him to stay another year, but I know there's a lot of people who don't. And, you know, from that point of view, we might be better off without him in that sense, because we might actually start playing a little bit more as a team and a little less, you know. But then again, if we didn't have Zlatan this year, we'd be mid-table in the league. So
yeah, there is that. I just think sometimes the ego gets the better of him. I don't like that as a Manchester United fan. You know, no one's bigger than the club, and just don't like it. I mean, considering when we got Pogba and Mkhitaryan, you know, even Michael Carrick could have took that free kick, in fairness.
Jacob Elemery has made a fantastic comment. I really like this. He says, Herrera for Carrick and Martial for Rashford on Sunday. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, it's a good shout, yeah.
I'd be disappointed in many ways if we pick Fellaini at home, because it's a bit defensive as well, because Fellaini, whatever his strengths are, and I sometimes wonder what they are, but if he has got some strengths, you know, you compare this team to a team with Fellaini in it, and we would be slower and slightly more defensive. Well, we're playing at home against Chelsea, so I don't want to see us being defensive against Chelsea just because they're top of the league. I want us to have a bloody good go at them.
Well, this is it. I mean, we're still in the fight for the top four. It's still, you know, mathematically possible. So I don't see Chelsea coming there and parking the bus, because I just don't think that's in Conte's nature from what I've seen of them this season. So I totally think they're going to come and have a right go at United. And I think their midfield three, if we got Fellaini in the team, he's just going to crucify ours. I mean, he's too slow. It's all right for the teams like Stoke and Burnley and things like that, but against top 4, top 6 sides, he just doesn't work.
I agree with everybody. I know Tyrone likes it, but I just think Pogba is playing a little bit too deep. Him and Carrick are almost side by side. One of them has got to get on a bit. Yeah, push on, like you say.
I mean, out of the two, it's Pogba should be the one pushing on for me.
But our build-up play's been good. Oh, what a save by the keeper! 1-0. 1-0, Mkhitaryan. It was Rashford's shot. It was a fantastic save by the keeper. It was actually a really good bit of build-up play. I think Pogba to Zlatan, out wide to Valencia. Cross comes in, and Rashford hits it on the cross low. Keeper gets down well, and Mkhitaryan's there to follow it up. And that's just intelligence from Mkhitaryan to be there, but well deserved, and some really good play rewarded there.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, we kept the ball well, building up to it. Had a good shot there, cracking, good save by the keeper, and Mkhitaryan there on the follow-up to knock it in. Fantastic.
And it was a good shot from Rashford. It was actually nearer to the edge of the box than the penalty spot. Gets it down well, fantastic save. It's a shame it didn't go in, because it would have been a great goal finish, but Mickey's there to follow up. Valuable goal.
From a tight angle as well, so it's good to see the number 10 running in there, hoping that the goal is going to spill it, or he's going to get a rebound from it and knock it in there. Fantastic. Good awareness. But it's that speed to get the rebound that we don't see much from Zlatan, unfortunately.
I tell you what, the encouraging thing for that goal, for those who haven't seen it, is I've been saying for a long time now, yeah, we can get top 4, yeah, we can win the Europa League, but we've got to start playing well as a team. And that goal was a really good team goal. We worked it, we put the cross in, Rashford shot, and then someone's following up there. But we have, in the final third especially, really been moving the ball really well. And I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of that's down to the fact that we've got Mkhitaryan playing at number 10, we've got Carrick on his game, and we've got nobody to slow it down who's got a big bushy head. But no, in all seriousness, I've never been a fan of Fellaini, but if you just take it as a football thing, he slows us down and he's got no passing range, and we've really, we've been better for not having that today.
Oh, definitely, because our number 10 today has got the ability and the pace to run beyond the number 9. So I mean, again, if it's Fellaini, he doesn't do that. Mata, he's more creative than what he is for running in behind. So yeah, I mean, fantastic shout there by Mickey. Fantastic goal. Great awareness for it.
And Mkhitaryan he does have this knack of coming up with important goals.
Yeah.
Paul Nichols says, "Love your show, but you said top 4 is lost weeks ago." I want us to get top 4, and I'd love to be wrong, but I still stand by it. I think top 4, we won't get top 4, which is why this is so important. But that's for another day. I like the fact that Rashford got himself into that position as well.
Yeah, I mean, I said earlier, in the show, cutting in from the left-hand side. I mean, with that boy's pace as well, that's going to catch him unawares.
Oh, sorry, I've just realised I've got to do the score. I always forget that. But yeah. Well, 1-0 to United, and definitely nice to get a goal in the first half because we don't always do that, and we're definitely well worth it as well.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed, Mark, this half so far with the energy the team have.
Yeah.
They're closing down quick. The build-up play has been fantastic. I can only count 2-3 times that we've actually given the ball away. Pogba's doing a good job holding on to the ball in the middle with Carrick.
Of course, you'll get people coming back saying, "Oh, it's only Anderlecht, this, that, and the other." But it was only Sunderland against 10 men at the weekend, and we still failed to, really start stringing passes together. In fact, one of the things I said in my match reaction is that, we had a real opportunity in that second half to, use it as a confidence booster and move the ball around better, and we just didn't do it. But in this game, we have. And, it might only be Anderlecht, but you, as a team, you will get better through confidence. And the fact that we have moved the ball well today is really encouraging.
I've noticed now as well that Lingard and Rashford, they swap sides now. Rashford's playing down the right, Lingard's playing on the left. Whether it's just flat bit of play just beforehand, don't know. But
I mean, Louise says there that Mickey's the best. You know what? I know that we've spoken about it a lot this season, that Zlatan and Pogba, they never get substituted, and at times it's worked with Zlatan because he'll have a bad game, but then he'll pop up with a goal. I think Mkhitaryan gets subbed way too much because I think he's in that category. He pops up with important goals, and I think he should be a 90-minute player like Zlatan is and like Pogba is, because he has that ability just to pop up like he did against Sunderland, like he has tonight, with important goals. And I think we sub him off a bit early too much sometimes, and I'd like to see him on the pitch for the full 90 more and more, because I just think he's a very important player. And he doesn't play well all the time, but when he does, whether he does or he doesn't, he always seems to have an impact.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd put him in the category of he should be playing the full 90 minutes, because he can have he could have a bad game, but a minute or two from the end, he could just pop up and do something. He can run past the odd defenders and create something. He's just one of those type of players for me.
Celta Vigo are 3-1 up, so it's looking like they're putting that tie to bed.
Some guy saying 2-0 in the comments. It's not, it's 1-0. I think the defence has done pretty well this half as well, Mark. Bay and Rojo. I mean, they've not had a lot to do, but what they've done has been quite assuring.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if this Lyon game is going to kick off or not, and disgusting really, because you had that in Dortmund where it was Dortmund and Monaco, and terrorist incident and football comes together. 2 nights later, you get the Turks and the French going at each other, brawling. It's just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting.
So nice bit of play here again in the middle. Pogba, Zlatan, tidying up quite nicely.
Yeah, well, we're approaching half time. It's whizzed by, really, but it's good to get out of that half 1-0 up, because I think it's Valencia obviously getting a big part of that goal as well. We have missed him. My man of the season, I think, has been fantastic.
Yeah, he has done well, considering he's not, a specialised right back.
Carrick again, 40-yard pass into the feet. There's hardly anybody in world football who can do what he does. But it gets you from attack to defence so fast. Who scored? Charlie Boswell was in the shower. He says, "Who scored?" Mkhitaryan, and it was a good goal. It was a very good team goal. Carrick again doing his defence. I think Carrick's been fantastic.
Yeah, he's played really well this half.
And remember, he's captain as well.
Yeah. Probably a better captain's performance than Fellaini.
I don't know.
It's close, isn't it?
We're moving forward here, but Zlatan's got nobody with him. It was good to get it up that far, but he's kept the ball well. Now we've got the overlap with Valencia and Lingard. Nice to get a second. Valencia shoots. Goes out for a throw-in.
Yeah.
Nice solid performance so far, says Lewis Gayland. Do I think Martial will come on? I think we might see him at the start. Surinder says, who's been your man of the match the first half? It's Carrick for me, Marcus.
Yeah, most definitely. Been really impressed with him. Very controlled performance. I was afraid he might have been a bit outpaced in the middle with Tielemans playing, but he's done very well.
If you want to pop off, mate, and get yourself 10 minutes, I've not got Ross coming in, but I can do 10 minutes if you want to go and have a little break.
Yeah, can do, mate. Get coffee.
You can stay on if you want, it's up to you.
Oh, you want me to go, I'll go.
No, that's not what I said. I was just looking after the people on the show. If you want to pop off for 10 minutes, you can.
I will do, mate, yeah, because I've got to do something. But yeah, overall, very, very impressed with this first half, mate.
Okay, well, start me when the second half starts. We'll get you back on.
Okay, all right then, pal. See you in a bit then.
See you in a bit.
Ta-da.
I think he's off for a poo. He's got to go and do something. That's code for having a poo. Zero Hit says that Rashi's been amazing. I'm going to take some of your Snapchats. That was the whole point. United Stand MUFC, all one word on Snapchat. Give us your thoughts on the half, because this is the United Stand, which is your channel, so it's about your opinion as well. I want to take some of your comments, but I want to take some of your Snapchats. United Stand MUFC. For me, very, very simply this. Very, very encouraged by that half. Not going to buy into this. It's only Anderlecht. I thought first 15 minutes it was quite equal. Then we started to take control of the game. The movement of the ball from the midfield to the attack has been very, very good. Michael Carrick was my standout player from that half in what was a half of very good performances. But Carrick just makes it look so easy when he's on his game. It's like the Carrick of old, which we're not going to see very often now because of age decline. But I've been saying this for a long time, and I think more and more people would agree with me on this, is that when Fellaini plays in the midfield, or even Herrera to a much lesser extent, but use Fellaini as the example, I don't understand why Mourinho plays Fellaini in the midfield, because 1, he's too slow, 2, he can't carry the ball, and 3, most importantly, his passing range is 5 yards max. You've seen in that half there, we've got a lot of speed without Fellaini being there, but also we've got this quarterback in Carrick who gets the ball and is playing pass after pass, eye of the needle pass, over between 10 and 40 yards. And it's just a delight to watch. And when your defensive midfielder is playing a 40-yard pass into your number 10, who only needs a touch and then they're on the attack, that's why we're such a good attacking side tonight. I don't understand why he plays Fellaini in the midfield. It slows us right down. And that's one of the big improvements tonight, is that the movement of the ball is much quicker and the team is much quicker. It's not slow in the progress. So Carrick was very, very good in that half. Rashford, bit of a poor first 5 minutes, but then grew into it. He nearly scored a fantastic goal. The cutback, the build-up play to the goal was brilliant. Then it's Valencia down the right, crosses it back. It's on the ground. Rashford shoots from around the edge of the box low. A fantastic save. It's a shame it didn't go in for Rashford. Fantastic save. And there's Mickey to tap it in with the follow-up, anticipation. So I'm glad Mickey scored, but it's a shame that it didn't go in for Rashford. But yeah, very, very pleased with United. And we need to get out of this game with a win. Be very important. Beto says that Pogba needs to stop the use of the skills. I think Pogba's playing a little bit too deep for me. But remember, we are the away side. So you can sort of see why he might be doing that. But I think, I'd like to see Pogba playing a little bit further forward. Not massively, just, maybe 5-10 yards a little bit further forward, because Carrick's running the show anyway, and he doesn't need Pogba next to him. Leon V. Besiktas has actually started now after all the crowd trouble, which is good. Johnny Blaze says, Zlatan, how many times are you going to give the ball away? I think that's just Zlatan. I think he has given the ball away a lot, but he's also been involved in a lot as well. So it's a bit of a, 50-50. Tielemans, says James Jones. I thought he started off quite well, but was quiet for the last half an hour. Zero Hit, who do you think will replace Carrick? God knows. I don't think Carrick's replaceable. There's a very good comment from somebody in the first half, I think it was Darth Vader, saying that Carrick's the past and your new midfielder in that position needs to be tenacious, tackling and everything like that. Which is probably true. Doesn't mean that Carrick's not important now, but he is irreplaceable. Richie CR's made a contribution. Thanks for that, Richie. He says Carrick has been amazing, man of the half. I would agree with that. We've stopped the clock. Don't worry. Oh no, it's still going. Why is the clock still going? I thought I'd stopped it. Let me stop the clock. Stop the clock. Reset. There we go. Get off. Back to the comments. Shaka Phillips is saying between now and the end of the season, we should be playing Michael Carrick. The downside about this is that the Europa League is more important, which is why Carrick plays tonight. But ideally, you'd play him again on Sunday, which we won't do. I would hope that on Sunday, we just put Herrera in for Carrick and we don't bring Fellaini back in, because I think if we play Fellaini against Chelsea, we'll get beat, because we'll be slow moving to the ball against a very good midfield. But tonight's about the Europa League, and we benefit without having Fellaini tonight. Zero Hit says Dybala or Griezmann. Well, Dybala's just signed a new contract today, so it's Griezmann, isn't it? Alvaro Gomez says Herrera can do what Carrick does and better. He can't. You've exposed yourself there. Carrick, there's nobody in the Premier League who can pass the ball along the ground so accurately, so fast than Carrick. Herrera's not got that range of passing, and I love Herrera. You're actually doing a disservice to probably what I would call a Manchester United legend in Carrick, saying that Herrera can do what Carrick can do. You're having a bloody laugh, mate. I mean, I like Herrera, but he can't do what Carrick can do. He can't do that sort of passing. And off both feet as well. Carrick does it with his left. Romero was looking a bit shaky, Todd Parker, but fortunately he's not really been tested. Sean Cameron, thoughts on Zlatan, Mark? I think Zlatan's done okay. He had a big part in the goal. It was his pass that put Valencia in. The goal was just a well-worked goal. He's been a bit... why was the thing that annoyed me about Zlatan from that half, and I don't think he was bad by any means, was why was he taking the free kick from 30 yards? Why is he still taking free kicks? Pogba would be perfect for that, but it just seems to me that we are giving up the fact that we're rubbish at corners, and now we're giving up free kicks, and we may as well just give the ball back. Lynn Hall says she's not impressed with Tielemans. We never said it was going to work out for sure, and plus we're not linked to him anyway. It was just out of interest. And Ibra's free kick was terrible, says Alfie Brooks. Vidal would be perfect for our midfield, says Gungshi. I would not doubt it. Let's take some of your Snapchats then, see what people are saying. And we've got... It's just loading up. Rashford's tracking back, says David Ryan, has been fantastic. So Max says...
Mkhitaryan.
Eric Mkhitaryan, he's a midfield dominator.
Mkhitaryan to Englishman in New York there. Mark Davidson.
Hey Mark, pleased with the half. I think it's been good so far. How do you think Tielemans has been? I think he's been quiet. We'll have to see over the two halves.
I thought Tielemans started off quite well, a bit like Anderlecht. Remember he had that run and Mkhitaryan took the yellow card. But I think much like the team, he's been quite quiet in the last half an hour. Jack Yelder. Too quiet, Jack. You got to talk up. Daniel Woolley.
Consider swapping Rooney for Zlatan. I mean, after the Chelsea game, before one of the other games, just to change the pace that we're playing at now, or maybe just to shift the squad around.
Obviously a Rooney fan. He wants to see Rooney back playing instead of Zlatan to mix it up a bit. Dimajali Williams. Oh no, don't know what I've done there. I've hit the wrong one. Let's try again. Dimajal Williams.
Come on, United! Come on, United!
Come on, United. It's good to see us playing good football again. Gio Rizzi.
Mark, surely we got to bring Fellaini on.
He wants us to bring Fellaini on.
I would quite like to see Fosu Mensah come on, to be honest with you. I think he can do a job. I really do want to see him come on, even if it's for 10-15 minutes.
Ioma Ben wants to see Fosu Mensah come on. Let's not forget, Fosu Mensah and Tielemans are the same age. Tielemans is captain in Anderlecht tonight, and Fosu Mensah spent most of the season getting splinters on his arse, sat on the bench. So I wouldn't disagree. I just don't think we'll see him. Seb Breezy 6.
And I think Fellaini needs to be sold 100% as well as Darmian and Phil Jones.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you. Danny Sheehan.
My philosophy is the greatest to great football. Michael Carrick and Mike Smalling are great player.
Oh, could have been Van Gaal. Tyro Williams.
Loving Pogba's performance tonight. Looks a much more disciplined player. He actually knows what he's doing tonight. Long may it continue.
Yeah, he did say in the live comments in the first half, to be fair, Tyrone. I think I prefer him playing a little bit further forward, but Tyrone's really enjoying his position as at the back. Wapo Brow.
Good first half. We need to be more clinical in the second half and finish him off in this first leg, so we don't have to worry about the second leg.
That's a very good point, actually. I'll come back to Snapchat in a bit. It's a very good point, though, because we are 1-0, but I think we need to come out of this with at least a 2-goal... well, I say at least, but, you know, a 2-goal lead would be worthy of the way we've played in the first half, so it'd be good to see that happening. If you want to follow us on Snapchat, it's United Stand MUFC, all one word, and send us your Snapchats. We'll be going back to that. DT United, Carrick is bossing the game. He certainly is. Ajax are leading Schalke 1-0 at half-time. Mark, says Dylan Rillen. Ryan, and Carrick didn't do well against Chelsea at the reverse, unless I'm misremembering, says Patrick St. Pierre. Nobody did well against Chelsea in the first game, so I wouldn't learn anything from that. A lot of people talking about Herving Lozano, who I'm a big fan of. You didn't see our video last night. That must remind me, actually. If you are new to the United Stand, please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and get involved in the channel. Last night I did a transfer video. We're live pretty much every night at 8:30. I'll be live tomorrow night at 8:30 with our live Chelsea preview. And I'm going on Sunday, come on. We've still got a watch along for you on Sunday, don't worry, but I will be at the game, and hopefully I'll be interacting with you live at the game. But yeah, apparently the United Stand don't go to games. Ross goes quite regularly. I've not been for a while because I've been setting up the channel and doing watch-alongs and stuff. But on Saturday, no good if we go on Saturday. On Sunday I am going because I have been saying for months that we will beat Chelsea on Sunday. And I'm going to be there to see it happen. So can't wait for that. But yeah, live tomorrow night with the preview. Live every night. Get involved with the channel. Lots of transfer stuff on the channel at the moment. If you're not too sure about these targets, we were talking about Belotti, Mendy, Herving Lozano last night. If you don't know who they are or what they would bring to Manchester United, go and give that a watch. But lots of content. Subscribe to the channel. We're a live content channel, so make sure you hit the bell next to the subscribe button so that you get notified when we go live. But it's your channel, as you saw with the Snapchats there, as you see with the live comments, which are always on the videos. It's all... The United Stand was set up with one aim, real fan opinion, saying how it is. And we've always been true to that over the last 2 years, and we'll never move away from that. It is your opinion that makes it. I'd much rather be listening and reading to what you're saying than the crap that you get on the telly from overpaid, scripted footballers. And if people missed Michael Owen's perler from before the game, what's the difference between Michael Carrick and Fellaini? That 45 minutes, Michael. There we go. What was I doing? So look what some people are saying on the live comments. Pogba's passes have been off today to Sanjay. I think he's tried. Live chat's frozen. It's not, Dylan. It's moving along lovely. Thank you. Noam says he's going to Sidemen FC versus YouTube All Stars. That's all the con that is, Noam, though, because we're quite big on YouTube. I'm good at football and I never get asked to play. So it's not YouTube All Stars, because if it was YouTube All Stars, I would be playing for YouTube All Stars because I am actually good at football. They just never bloody ask me. Not that I'm bitter, but it's all little cliques, like everything in life. And if your face don't fit, you don't get asked. But it's not YouTube All Stars because it hasn't got me in it and I can still play. And Ross is very good as well. Alex O'Donnell says probably our best half so far in the Europa League, which I would agree with. We've hit 1,000 likes on the video. I said if we hit 1,000 likes, we would win. Well, we are going to win. Christopher Lochar is sick of Zlatan taking free kicks, which I would agree with. I think it's becoming tiresome, but the manager needs to do something about it, and he just doesn't seem to want to do it. And we're just about to start kicking off, actually, again. It's very nearly the second half. Everyone's just coming onto the bits. Oh, timer. Start. Just in time. Just in time. Okay, second half is up and running. Hopefully we can see a little bit more of that from United in the second half, because it was encouraging to see United playing good football. And I've been saying this for a few weeks on the live comments, haven't we? That, if we start playing good football, it makes our job a lot easier, because we've been grinding results out for too long. If we start playing good football, confidence grows, and we've got good opportunities. Zlatan's just kicked somebody in the face by accident. And Marcus is back. Alright, pal?
Yes, mate. How you doing?
All right. Good poo?
I took some pills, man. So
took
some pills. Yeah, take some pills. Get the wife to make a cappuccino.
Somebody just said it's 1-0 to Besiktas. They're only 15 minutes into that game. Supreme says Tielemans to Dortmund or Monaco. Wouldn't surprise me. They seem to get all the young players. Now, this is interesting. There's a free kick for Anderlecht right on the edge of the box here, and he's given a yellow card to Carrick. Tielemans is meant to have a good long shot on it. It'll be interesting to see if he can get it. But I'm not totally sure that was actually a yellow card tackled by Carrick. Come on. I can't believe Carrick got booked for that. It's that's yellow. European referees for you, but it's not a yellow card. It's just it's not even a foul. Unbelievable. But it's not unbelievable because we saw it with Leicester last night. Just poor referees in Europe. Tielemans, I don't think, is going to take this free kick anyway. But shocking that Carrick gets a yellow card for that.
Yeah.
Over the bar with the free kick anyway.
Thank God for
Justice.
that. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing, is it? It's just like coming together.
He just dived in front of him.
Yeah. Not a yellow card. No.
Romero's not had anything to do though. He's not had one shot.
No, he's been pretty quiet down our end of the pitch, but apart from the sliced clearance at the start of the game, he's not even got his jersey dirty, is he?
No. He always seems to get clean sheets, Romero, as well. I tell you what, I think Jose celebrated that goal really animated, which he doesn't always do. I think he's starting to think, you know what, I can't criticise Mourinho about his attitude towards the Europa League. I remember him saying back in September, we don't want to be in this tournament. And I said it as well, I didn't want to be in it. I think, top 4 should have been our priority to get Champions League. And circumstances, the amount of points we've dropped at home through our own doing, have sort of left us in this situation where the Europa League is really important. But in some ways, it's better because it's a cup tournament. We've got to bloody win it. And I think he's getting excited about it as well now.
Well, I mean, I'm personal opinion, if whatever we win, we should aim to win it. But I mean, this Europa League especially, because we've never won it before.
No.
And, it would be nice to... For Jose especially, I mean, he's already the first United manager to win a trophy in his first season. I mean, could he win 2? Hopefully he does. He's, a bit of pressure with the results going the way they have been. So hopefully, I mean, Zlatan as well. It'll be nice for him if he does decide to go.
Oh, cross shot, and a block by Valencia. Yeah, I think he'd love to win it just because we've never won it before. He'd like that on his CV, wouldn't he? I'm the first Manchester United manager to win the UEFA Cup. And we know it's secondary to the Champions League. But as I keep saying, Liverpool fans seem to think it's funny to laugh at us in the Europa League. Mourinho inherited us in the Europa League. He didn't qualify us for it. It's his first season. He can only deal with what's in front of him. It was a good block by Valencia, Darth Vader, I agree. But Anderlecht have started pretty much like they started the first half, really going at it. Lovely ball by Tielemans. Valencia's got to be really careful there. I thought he could have took a tumble and gone down there. I think Valencia was a bit lucky. The player decided to stay on his feet.
So Tielemans got a hell of a left foot on him.
CFC007 says, Mark, get your dad on after beating the Chelsea. He is a Chelsea fan. I haven't spoken to him actually in a while. I will definitely speak to him on Sunday. I work with a Chelsea fan as well. He's a nice bloke, but they will win the league. I'd like to win anyway because I've constantly said this. The best team I've seen us playing the Premier League this year was Spurs, and I know we beat them, but as a team, I thought they were the best footballing team we've played. I'd prefer them to win the title for that reason, but they won't. It's Chelsea going to win the league, but I'd like us to just beat them and just make it a little bit closer. They might, get a bit nervous then.
Yeah. Well, make things a bit more interesting towards the end of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I see Zlatan there. I see what people were saying at half time. There was a bit of criticism at half time, Marcus, actually, for Zlatan saying that he's very wasteful. But I think he's sort of a 50-50 player with the ball at his feet. He either loses it or plays a really good pass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just of the opinion is age is a big thing for me. I think when you get a certain point in your age, in your career, you just know, don't you? But I think with Zlatan, he doesn't move a lot, but he's 9 times out of 10, he's in the right positions. He's just not clinical enough. I know he's been fantastic in France and everywhere else he's been, but Premier League, I'm 50-50, mate. I really am on him. It wouldn't bother me if he went in the summer because we bring in someone just as good and probably younger and faster, and it'll be hell of a difference in our play going forward. I don't like relying on a 35-year-old, and he'll be 36 if he stays another season next year.
I'll tell you what, I just think, I know some people don't like the transfer stuff, but on the United stand, we've always been really into it, and we know that we're not going to sign every player we talk about, but the reality is we've got a worldwide Manchester United support, and not everybody, I think some people get quite arrogant about it because they know a lot of players and they just go, why are you talking about him? There's the vast majority of United fans won't, they'll know a name of the player, but they won't know much about him, which is why we do the transfer shows, and all right, it might be a rumour from the Sun, but some of it's from the Independent. But wherever it's from, we're quite happy to talk about it. Just on the off chance it might be true, but just to educate people on what these players are, what they might bring to the squad. But this summer, I know I said it last summer and I said it the summer before, and they were fantastic summers. We have had three really good summers of exciting signings. A lot of them haven't worked under Van Gaal, especially. You think about the Di Marias and the Falcaos, but they were exciting at the time. But this summer, again, I just think, how can you top last summer? Because it was brilliant, signing Pogba and Zlatan and Mkhitaryan and Bailly. But I think we will, because I think Mourinho's had a full season. So we'll hopefully we will see people going out the door. Some of them potentially massive exits from the club, like Rooney. But the players we're going to sign, nobody's really got a clue. No one's got a clue. The only one I would say with any confidence, and it might not happen, but I would say it with confidence, is Griezmann. And what a signing that would be. But there are going to be others, and we've got no idea. Nobody's got any idea who they are, apart from, behind closed doors at United. So, I just, it's going to be such an interesting summer. And I think, going back to what you were saying there, the Zlatan aspect of it is interesting. I would think he probably will stay, but if he goes, who would replace him? Because we'll definitely sign someone.
Well, this is it. I mean, that's the exciting thing for me. All these. I don't want to say has-been players, but oldish players, the senior players of the team. It's time to move forward. We are too reliant on them because of their experience. So, I mean, for me, Zlatan goes. I was very impressed with Dybala yesterday. I've not watched a lot of him. I know of him, but I think
just signed a new contract today. Though,
yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the problem. So I think Juventus obviously knew someone's going to come sniffing this summer after that performance.
Yeah, fair play to him though.
Yeah,
it shows loyalty, doesn't it?
But yeah, I mean, he would be for me the attacking choice. Dybala, come on.
No. Just wide again from the width. Darmian this time with a good cross. Mickey's on the end of it, and I thought he'd found the bottom corner. Again, on the edge of the box, sort of similar position to what Rashford was in, and keeper's beat. It's just wide. Good little bit of play.
Good cross there from Darmian. We don't see that an awful lot.
Not off his left foot, no. We'll see how close it was here. Oh, it's agonising. Half a metre wide. Fellaini is warming up, by the way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think everybody else was warming up. I think the camera just panned onto Fellaini. It wasn't just him warming up. But that would be the end of the quick play if we brought him on. But he might shut up shop.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he don't shut up shop and probably last 5 minutes. But a very good low cross across the floor from Darmian there.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, we don't. All right, he don't play that often, but when he does play, we don't often see that.
2-0 to Ajax. It says Batman Assassin. They are the home side against Schalke, so the fact that Besiktas are beating Lyon 1-0 is interesting because I wouldn't fancy Lyon to go to Turkey and turn that round. So a lot of people were saying, "Oh, Lyon are the best team in the tournament." I'm not convinced by it. After us, I'm not convinced by it. I think that result they had against Lorient last week was a real eye-opener. That they're not that great.
I mean, going back to that move as well, Mark, with Darmian there. I mean, Pogba's the one that's found the pass there to Darmian.
Ooh, Rashford shot straight into the keeper, edge of the box. You what, mate?
Pogba got that ball out to Darmian there in that passage of play. Good spot from Pogba.
The build-up play's been really good today, and it's not been good for probably about a month and a half. So that's a real encouragement thing from this game. I mean, it'd be nice to get another goal and put this tie to bed in many ways, but the build-up play's been fantastic, and we've not been playing like that for a long time.
It's almost like the midfield three have finally come together, and they're playing how they should have been playing from the start.
Oh. What a bit of skill by Mkhitaryan. There's a battle on the pitch at the moment. Yeah. Who would be United's best player on the pitch? I mean, it was Carrick in the first half, but Mkhitaryan seems to, he had a good first half himself, and he's having a good second half. Substitution here by Anderlecht. I mean, I'm interested what you said at the start, though. I mean, how weakened this Anderlecht side is, or whether they have gone out with their full strength side or not.
No, I did hear on the, I can't remember where it was now, but there is 2 to 3 players missing that are usually in their first team. As for pronouncing the names, mate, I don't even want to attempt it. But I think there's 2 on the bench. I think 1 has been dropped.
Dracula says that Lingard's been invisible. What has he actually done? I think Lingard's been okay. I mean, we were talking about it before the game. The thing about Lingard is, I don't think he has the negative impact on the team that, say, a Fellaini does. And I think as a squad player he's useful. But I would agree that Lingard shouldn't be starting games for United.
No, yeah, definitely.
I think Lingard is he's a 6 out of 10 player, if you know what I mean. Whereas, somebody could be playing in that position who is like an 8 or a 9 out of 10, and it would improve our team. I just think he's a bit of a meh player, Lingard. He's not he's not terrible, but
you take it or leave him, didn't you?
Yeah, he's not a we should have a better player than Lingard playing that position, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think he's been terrible by any means today, but he's not been superb either. Anderlecht on the attack here. We don't want this. Oh, no, shoots wide.
Dangerous.
Shoots wide.
But it's good that the Anderlecht's not sitting back either, thinking, let's shut up shop and keep it to a minimal. Don't want to be embarrassed.
I think it's been an equal second half.
Oh, yeah, it has been. I mean, first 10, 15 minutes, yeah, definitely. They've had a couple of chances. We've had a couple of chances.
An hour gone, so we might be looking at subs at some point. I don't know. I don't know what changes I would make. I suppose we were just talking about Lingard there, but Rashford's in here. He's not going to get ahead of the defender, unfortunately.
I mean, the only attacking option is Martial, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
All the rest are defensive or negative.
Lingard will probably go in the book for that. Oh no. Was this a foul?
Well, if Michael Carrick doesn't last the whole game, I'd like to see Fosu Mensah in there, actually.
I think Martial's coming on anyway. Mourinho was having quite an in-depth chat with him.
Who do you think? Rashford or Lingard?
I bet it'll be Rashford.
Yeah.
I'm eagle-eyed, you see. It was in the background of a shot there. You could see him talking to Martial.
You don't miss a thing, do you?
Try not to. I notice things like that. Yeah, I think he'll take Rashford off. Although I probably would take Lingard off.
Yeah, I'd go for Lingard. I'd stick Rashford on the right just to give him some more minutes ahead of the Sunday game.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, whoever he takes off is probably going to be starting on Sunday, so he might not, he might take Rashford off with that in mind.
Well, I mean, if you take, so this is the thing. Looking ahead to Sunday, if he takes Rashford off, we know Martial's not going to start, and it's quite baffling sometimes. I mean, when you look at the bench, I mean, it's not full of attacking options, more defensive options for me. But
that's because of all the injuries we've got, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've not really got. Well, then again, you think about it. What attacking options have we got that's injured? Rooney, Ashley Young never really plays as a forward these days.
Mata,
yeah. I mean, Rooney and Mata are big losses in relation to the squad. But I've quite enjoyed Pogba and Carrick today. Carrick especially. It is Martial coming on. Told you, spotted it.
Yeah.
And it's Lingard coming off.
Ooh.
So yeah, be happy with that. But does it mean that Lingard probably plays at the weekend?
It's good to see the 2 young lads though on the flanks.
So Rashford would probably come over to the right now.
Yeah. Be a surprise if he puts Martial on the right.
Well, at least we get a good half an hour of Martial now, which is, I think he only got 10 minutes at the weekend, so... I think we'll see Fellaini at some point as well.
Yeah, being only 1-0 up as well, it shows he has got faith in him.
Yeah, Martial has almost got to start again, hasn't he? You know,
Yeah.
He had that time out of the pitch, then he came back in and did okay, then he had a couple of bad games and he got dropped, and I think he's got to, you know, we could do with Martial getting a goal today and showing him what he's got.
Well, hopefully this last half hour he's, intent on going forward, and I mean he can pick out a pass as well in the final third.
I mean, Martial's improved a hell of a lot in his passing and his work rate of getting back. Mourinho has improved him on that. I think what he has lost a little bit this season is that sort of second syndrome confidence of running at people. He loses control of the ball a bit. I mean, I think he should have been playing a lot more than he has, but I also do agree with those people who say he's not the player as he was last year. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a difference between Mourinho and Van Gaal, and it's difference in philosophies. Van Gaal like to keep the ball. Mourinho likes his wing backs to get forward, and he likes his wingers to make sure they're defensive minded as well. So,
Luke Skywalker says United are playing too slow football all the time. I think today we've moved the ball a lot quicker, but I would agree with you. We move the ball a lot quicker when we haven't got Fellaini on the pitch because he's slow. Peter Doyle makes an interesting point. When Martial scores his next goal, it'll cost us £8 million because there's an increase in the fee to Monaco.
Oh yeah. So what would that total be for his transfer then?
I think 36 million we paid, so it goes up to 44 because I think the whole deal could go up to 56.
Gosh.
What's the film on in the background? I can hear.
Oh, sorry, mate. That's my mother playing Mass Effect.
Who?
Mum. She's playing Mass Effect on the PlayStation.
Oh no, it's all right. I thought it sounded like a film. That's all. She's not interested in United tonight.
No, not tonight, mate. No. She's had a busy day though. She had to go into London for a follow-up on the knee. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm quite impressed as well with Zlatan's hold-up play tonight as well. You know.
Yeah, like I say, it's been a bit 50-50 in his distribution, but I don't think he's had a bad game. I don't think there's nobody else in the squad I'd want to be playing that role other than Zlatan at the moment.
He can hold the ball up, bring people into play, whereas like Rashford, he runs in behind, then he relies on his pace. Martial's seen a lot of the ball since he's come on.
Yeah. Maestro Skills says, do you think Mbappe would be a good signing for Manchester United? Oh, come on. Of course he would. He looks fantastic. I wouldn't be surprised if he came to United in the summer. I know people think it won't happen, but Di Marzio said a few weeks ago that United really, really want him. Whether they can get him or not is another matter. But if Di Marzio had a summer like he did last year, then you've got to believe it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
There's Anderlecht on the attack though. We don't want to draw this. Good block by Bailly, and Rashford will keep it in. He's running it the right back here. Oh my God! That's so late. So late. I hope he can get up from that. The ball's gone miles off, and it's skill that beats him. Obradovic.
Very rash.
Rash on Rashford.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if that was in the Premier League, people would be shouting for a red card. It's a scissor tackle. That's exactly what did Luke Shaw in. Oh, he's up on his feet. I hope we don't want to be picking up injuries like that.
No. Do you think that's worse than the Michael Carrick one?
Oh yeah, well Carrick's wasn't even a yellow.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. If you think that Carrick's one's a yellow, I mean, sure, quite argue that one could have been a red.
Yeah, they never are. This is the thing in European football. People get pushed over and they give yellow cards. People do scissor tackles and they get bloody yellows. "23 minutes to go." I mean, we take this result, but we've not been as dominant in the second half as we were in the last half of the first half an hour of the first half. But I still think, we should be looking to push it on a little bit.
Looking at the challenge again, it's a bad one. It could be a red card.
Yeah, well, I think in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Not every single time, but
in the context of what Carrick got for that, it's.
He's all right there, Rashford. He's sprinting around as normal, which is good to see. Here we go. Just pass it on one. Oh, Mickey, you should have played on then. Tielemans looks like he's going to get booked. Interestingly enough, Mkhitaryan got booked for a foul on Tielemans. Is Tielemans going to get booked for a foul on Mkhitaryan? No.
No. I mean, this is where we need the consistencies of the referees, isn't it? Like Michael Carrick, just before that, took a shoulder in the back, elbow in the back.
Yeah. It's nice little keeping of the ball here from United in tight spaces. Martial wants to get a shot away, blocked. We've kept the ball really well in this game, though, and
yeah, we have. We've not seen that very often. Well, I say very often, but we've not seen that much in the Premier League. Where we've kept the ball and been able to spray the passes about, and it's almost as if we're in complete control, like second, third gear, and yet we're only winning 1-0.
Yeah, like I say, well, Anderlecht have been quite good at times, but
they've been
not
good.
actually
But
tested Romero.
no, yeah, they've been good, but not dangerous.
No.
But there has been some really good performances from players tonight. I didn't expect. Michael Carrick being top of the list for me at the minute.
Well, interestingly enough, Surrender says, why can't Carrick play on Sunday? What is he? 30? You think he's coming up for 36 if he's not 36 already? This is a Thursday night. That's Sunday. It's three days. I just don't think. I don't think Mourinho will want to play him against Chelsea anyway. I mean, as much as I've said about Fellaini, oh God, Bay's made a mistake here. Anderlecht are in. Darmian does well, and we're on the break again now. There's got to use Mickey here. Martial here.
Great from Darmian there. It's almost tonight as if they've just clicked.
Yeah.
They get it.
But yeah, I don't think even Mourinho will want to play Carrick, because as much as you can moan about Fellaini not being quick enough and having no passing range, Carrick's not really quick enough. So I think he might hopefully not play Fellaini or Carrick and play Herrera and Pogba. And then, maybe do what he's done with the attack today. Have Mkhitaryan as the number 10. I wouldn't play Fellaini, and to be honest, I wouldn't cry if Carrick didn't play, because just play Herrera and Pogba as they have today.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably make 3 changes for this team for the Sunday. Obviously, De Gea comes in for Romero. I'd go with Martial on the left for Rashford for the impact sub. And
3-2 in the Celta Vigo Genk game, and Genk are away. So that game could be interesting second leg if they can stay that close. Zlatan's miles offside there.
I think Pogba's been really good tonight. I really do. The more and more this lad plays, the more and more we're seeing what he's all about now. Safe, controlled, passing's been pretty good. Considering he's been playing so deep as well. You're not doing any Snapchat during the show?
I will do in a minute, yeah.
He's Zlatan, no effort to come back.
He's onside this time. Zlatan is in the penalty box. Got 2 men on him. Oof, nearly.
Yeah, close again.
Robert Sesse in the live comment says United are doing okay. And Robbie GB says Tielemans will miss the second leg if he gets a yellow card. Well, we probably don't want to see him missing the second leg, do we? Because we want a, good young player.
I would like to see how he does at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
You get a lot of players, young players that are the occasion gets to them, don't they? So. Yeah, Pogba's passing, man. It's been really impressive. Really impressive tonight.
Rich Humphries says Martial should come on for Zlatan. He'd have a job. He's already come on for Lingard.
He's already on.
We're just showing that Darmian tackle. But Fellaini is on. What a surprise.
Yeah.
For Rashford. So we are shutting up shop. Weird substitution that, but we don't really have any attacking option, do we, on the bench?
No, I mean, Martial is the only attacking option. Fellaini's the plan B, isn't it? Be interesting to see now if he makes his third change. See who comes on out of what's left.
Mkhitaryan goes out to the right wing.
I think Mkhitaryan's played really well in the number 10 tonight. Very creative.
Lord says Pogba's been poor. It's amazing how some people see the game, isn't it?
Everyone's entitled to an opinion, aren't they?
I feel sorry for Martial there because he comes on, he's got half an hour. He's watched an hour of the game where we've moved the ball really quickly, and then he comes on, and within a few minutes, Fellaini comes on the pitch, and now the ball will be moved slowly. And every time he gets the ball now, Anderlecht will be well set.
Well, on the plus side, Michael Carrick hasn't handed the armband to Fellaini, so that's a positive.
Zlatan's just got the ball and basically said, "Get out of my way, Fellaini," and ran past him. Come on, Fellaini, it's an easy pass there. Even you can make that. Well done. It's Pogba in a more advanced position now, which is a positive.
I do like that no matter how bad a player is, they do try.
Tries my patience every time. Gungshi says boos for Fellaini. There won't be any boos for Fellaini.
Hey, would you make a
there
third?
will be boos because he's Belgian, isn't he? Yeah, they will boo him.
Yeah. Would you make a third change, Mark, towards the end of the game? Luke Shaw.
I'm not sure he will do now. I think Mourinho's probably happy just to take the 1-0.
Well, we've seen him before, haven't we? With like 5-6 defenders on the pitch at once. Darmian again, man. Simple, calm.
Kieran Monaghan, it's impressive how much Rojo has improved under Jose, which I would agree with. And Dre Max says Zlatan should have been subbed, Rashford put forward and Martial on the wing. Yeah, I don't disagree with that comment, but we all know it's not going to happen. So, Zlatan never gets subbed. Spalacus 66, what do you think the score will be against Chelsea? Well, I'll cover that on the preview tomorrow, live at 8:30. All I'll say is United are going to win. Nice to see get Pogba in a more advanced position for the last 10 minutes, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a plus as well, isn't it, for Fellaini coming on. Mickey's gone out to the right, Pogba, and come in and play the 10.
Oh, Carrick. Lovely little turn. Carrick's rolled back the years tonight.
Well, in a way, Valencia's played tonight as well. I mean, he looks as though he hasn't missed a game.
Fellaini's getting booed because he's Belgian, and I don't know who he used to play for. I can find out very quickly for you. But Everton will have signed him from somewhere in Belgium, and I've got a funny feeling it was Standard Liège, I think it was, yeah. He played there for 2 years, and that's why. He did start off, interestingly enough, his youth career in 1994 at Anderlecht.
Oh, wow.
Just a shot wide there from Anderlecht. To be an absolute travesty if they got a draw in this game.
Yeah, if we let it slip now, that would be quite a punch in the gut, wouldn't it?
Well, it's not over. I mean, even 1-0, it's not over. So
yeah, still a good 10 minutes to go.
Anderlecht, obviously. There we go. Martial into the box.
Come on.
Fellaini deflected into the keeper. He actually caught that one quite well. I think he's got absolutely zero technique at shooting, but he actually did catch that one quite well.
Surprise a few people.
Somebody just said Declan Murphy just said Fellaini almost scored. I think that's pushing it. Martial's just giving the ball away there. It looked really bad, but you wonder why he's not getting a shout.
Still doing quite well though. Still holding on to the ball and picking the passes.
Yeah, Romero's not had a shot to save though, has he? That's the thing.
No, he hasn't. No.
AJ Nell, where will you be seated at Old Trafford? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, because it's not my oh, Pogba's in.
Come on.
Oh, that could have been the game. Probably should have scored.
Yeah.
I'm going with other people, so I think it's Sir Alex Ferguson's stand. But don't quote me on it. Pogba almost scored, you're right. So it's a shame it wasn't a bit of an earlier kick-off today because I was off work and I feel like watching a film and it's going to be quite late, isn't it? By the time this is done. Fellaini! Oh, he's rubbish in the air. Wins the header and heads it straight at the keeper. He'd love to score tonight, Fellaini, because he hates Anderlecht. I've just made that up. He might not. Right, I'm still listening, but Marcus can do a bit talking because I'm going to set up the live stream.
Well, I'll do some comments in here. Let's have a look.
Bit of a knife edge at the moment.
Yeah. Ray UK wants to know if you play Football Manager, Mark.
I don't, Ray. I'd love to have the time to do it.
Joe Buddha says Mark is already drunk.
I've only had two cans of Guinness. Takes me a little bit more than that, I can say.
Oh, then he goes on to say world class Fellaini. So.
Yeah, so it's wrong on both.
Daniel Smith, bring back Chicharito.
Could happen.
Yeah. Young's Horts, do you think Kroos is better than Pogba, honestly?
Yes, at the moment he is. You'd have to say that. But I think potentially that Pogba could be better. I mean, Pogba's had interesting games though. He played that defensive midfield position quite well.
Loon Black, man of the match. Bit too early yet for me.
I think Mkhitaryan. There's a few contenders. I'd say that. I mean, Carrick, Mkhitaryan, and even Pogba in a way. All of the back four's done quite well.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've not been worked that hard, I must admit. But
I think overall it's been a good team performance.
Yeah.
A good United performance. There's not been an amazingly performance from anyone. It's just been a good, solid team performance for me.
It's looking like it's going to filter out.
Couple of shouts for Mickey, man of the match.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. In fact, I'm going to do. I don't always do it in my match reaction, which will follow this. As soon as full time, will go live on my match reaction stream. But I will do player ratings on this one because I think it's always good when we've had a good team performance to do it because we get. Oh God, they've just scored.
Oh,
I mean that's just a real sucker punch.
That is, isn't it? Yeah. Fuck's sake.
That is bloody 1-1.
Oh. Do you know what? They've never looked like scoring for me. Romero hasn't had to do anything all game.
Well, the cross comes in and Fellaini lets his man go, and then Darmian can't get there. It's just bad defending.
Oh. Again, it's just fuel to the fire, isn't it? About Fellaini. He's lost his man.
Yeah, I mean, I have sympathy with Fellaini there, but he's got... Because it's his man, he can't just be static. At first you think it's Darmian's fault, but when you watch it back, it's not Darmian's man.
No.
Darmian could do with attacking it better. It's one of them again. It just gets stuck in between. How have we let that game slip is what I would say, Marcus, and everybody at home.
It is, it's gut-wrenching. I mean, even Mourinho, he looked flabbergasted as to how it's happened. I mean, like I say, the ball comes in, the guy's run past Fellaini. Darmian's, in fairness to Darmian, he's spotted the danger, he's tried to get there. But it's just too late. Romero, could he have done better? No, I don't think so. Powerful header. Just as much as I don't like to say it, I think Fellaini's at fault there for not spotting that, not checking behind.
Well,
but I mean, in fairness to him, he could have got a shout from Darmian there.
But yeah, I mean, I think you can certainly put fault on both parties.
Yeah.
Good tackle by Fellaini there, though, and his first touch is awful, but the foul's been given.
Change the score, mate.
Yeah, will do. I'm in denial. I mean, we haven't had that many good chances ourselves in the second half. I think that must be said, but this has never been. It's not a 1-1-1. I mean, you know what Mourinho is going to say at full time. Unlucky and all this, that, and the other. But if you don't shut the shop, you let burglars in, and we've been burgled a bit later on here.
They're showing it again. I mean, seeing Romero there, no fault for Romero at all.
No, it's a bullet header. It's a good
header.
Yeah,
it is. Very powerful. He's running onto it as well. But a game that we played quite well away from home.
There's disappointment, but we will win this game over 2 legs. But it's disappointing because we should have won it. We should have put it away.
Well, I mean, Pogba's had the chance, and Fellaini had the chance. I mean, Pogba's could have been game over.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That Pogba miss is just, crucial. Absolutely crucial. And that Pogba miss is really what it's all about, isn't it? We don't want to be thinking about that. And I think, hopefully, it won't take away from a performance from Pogba that's not been that bad. But I've said so many times, though, that Fellaini's obsession, Mourinho's obsession with Fellaini will cost us wins, and unfortunately, you could almost throw Darmian into that.
Yeah, I mean, let's not get on a negative side about it and go all depressed about it. It's 1-1. We got an away goal.
Yeah, it's certainly
the second,
not.
It's not as bad. All right, yeah, it's like you said, it's a sucker punch. We don't really deserve to be a 1-1 game. Anderlecht, they've not really threatened that much. Romero hasn't had anything to do apart from that. But we got an away goal. The second leg's at Old Trafford. It's not as if it's not too depressing, but a bit disheartening because it has been a good team performance tonight.
Yeah, I'd agree. I know I've got to do the goal. I really am in denial.
I don't know if you've noticed here, Mark, but Fosu Mensah's on.
Yeah, I have, because he's just nearly got himself sent off.
Yeah.
He's got a yellow card.
I think it was Mickey come off, I think.
It was a bit two-footed, to be honest. Yeah. Let's watch this back from Fosu. He needs to play more games.
But this is a trait of Jose's, isn't it? I mean, we go 1-0 up, and I suppose sit back is a bit harsh, but we try and defend it.
Well, you know what? We've been talking about it all game, and it's very true. If you bring Fellaini on, it slows down the midfield, but also it broke up that Pogba and Carrick midfield that was working so well.
Yeah.
But you've got to be able to, in fairness to him, you've got to be able to use your substitutions. And you've got to be able to have confidence in them. And for whatever reason, he has massive confidence in using Fellaini, doesn't he? And What other option did he have? Well, there's always another option when the horse is bolted, so to speak. But it's not the end of the world.
No, it's not. No,
But we shouldn't be coming away from this game with a 1-1 draw. We say that Anderlecht are on the attack here, and it's there's still 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
They might get another. I think we'll get rid of it, and that should be it. But thanks for joining us, Marcus, as ever.
Right, mate.
What will happen is I have already got the stream for the match watch along. Oh,
Right.
good header. Might get a
Yeah.
might get a quick corner out of this if we're quick. No, he's blown it up.
Yeah.
He's blown it up. To be fair to the ref, right on time. But I will be off to do my instant match reaction now. All you've got to do is click on the United Stand icon, and you will see the match reaction stream is already set up. But thanks for coming on, Marcus. Give us a shout out of your Twitter, and obviously you're back for the watch along on Sunday.
Yes, I'll be on Sunday. Twitter is mad_Marcus13. Thanks for having me on, and pleasure as always, mate.
No worries. I'll speak to you soon, pal.
And you, mate. See you later.
Thank you. I'm just the live chat you've just seen on there is actually the live chat for the match reaction, so it's not the one I've currently got up running with all you lot. So I will leave this stream there. We've got a contribution just quickly. Richard Stainer says, first thought in every player's head is to look back first, then forward second when receiving the ball. If they look forward first, we'd be so much quicker. Good points. I will pick that up on my match reaction. I'm also going to give you my man of the match, my player ratings, and unload a little bit because I think we've blown a really good chance there. But pop over onto the live match reaction stream. You can get there by clicking the United Stand icon, and then you will see Anderlecht 1, Manchester United 1, Mkhitaryan goal not enough, and it's a picture of Mkhitaryan. I'll be over there in about 30 seconds time. I'll see you over there in 1 minute. Well, 30 seconds time.